Miato akpanama waba agbaha mega fo abaji na nyegbododora na undia nyebe agbaha nkakamana ko na kpa the shade nye lejimano ne jibia wogba na we you know the die. And that's how I'm welcoming you to the Thursday edition of the AM show right here on Joy News, your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. It's 58 more days to go for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Welcome to the AM show. Now this morning, I'll start by serving you the AM news, bring you the latest chronicles of everything happening in and around the country. And then we'll get to review the newspapers. Afel Morning, former president of the GJA, and Kwame Nkrumah Botsu, the general secretary of the CPP, will be joining us to review the various newspapers. And then Haruna Mumbarak will serve you AM Sports. You know, after that, we get into our big stories. Now, what's the biggest issue in the country this morning? University Teachers Association, UTAG, declares an indefinite strike from today, the 10th of October 2024, across all 15 member branches after an emergency meeting triggered a U-turn from organized labor's much anticipated nationwide shutdown. It's been suspended because they say that some measures have been taken. That strike was actually supposed to take effect from today. The reason that government has enhanced measures to deal with illegal mining, a position that UTAG is vehemently opposing. So where do we go from here, and how does government maneuver to deal with these issues and more? We will hear from our panel. Also, what do you do to minimize costs, ensure quality, safety and picturesque internal decor for that house of yours? We'll tell you all about it and all you need to know with our guests as we build out for the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair coming off at the Accra International Conference Center on the 30th of October 2024. Later on, I hope you get to have your say when we open the phone lines. But from now, you can join the conversations via our social media handles at Joy News on TV. Welcome aboard. My name is Sweetie Abochi, and I do this with Benjamin Akako. Let's start with the AM News. This is the AM News. Now, the University Teachers Association of Ghana has declared an indefinite strike effective today, the 10th of October 2024, following an overwhelming vote in favor of industrial action to support a nationwide ban on mining and protecting activities in ecological sensitive areas. The decision, backed by 77.95% of UTAG members across 15 branches, underscores the association's firm stance on protecting the environment from destructive mining practices. In a referendum organized by UTAG's National Executive Council, 2,153 out of 2,762 members voted yes in support of the strike, calling for an immediate halt to mining in forest reserves, farmlands and water bodies. Only 607 members opposed the strike, with just 2 abstaining. This outcome, described by the National Executive Council as, quote, a decisive mandate, unquote, has set the stage for UTAG's indefinite industrial action across all its branches. Now, in a statement released by the NEC, the association highlighted its members' strong resolve to safeguard the environment. Now, despair, anger and disappointment on one hand and a huge sigh of relief on the other hand is a summary of the general mood in Ghana right now after organized labor, which is seen as the last bastion of hope, abruptly calls off its highly anticipated nationwide strike in the 11th hour. This has left the country on the edge over the unchecked devastation caused by illegal mining. Organized labor arrived at a decision after a meeting between labor unions and government. 3 key demands were made by organized labor, including a declaration of a state of emergency on mining in river and water bodies, revocation of LI 2642, which allows mining in forest reserves, and a ban on small-scale mining. But labor says it is satisfied with government enhanced measures.
Organized labor is still divided even after leadership of TUC has announced that the intended strike action from Thursday, October 10, has been suspended. The decision was taken after close to 2 hours of deliberation amongst leadership of the various labor unions. First, listen to Secretary General of the TUC, Joshua Ansah, announcing the decision to call off the strike.
Yesterday, October 8, 2024, the government team met with the leadership of Organized Labor and Ghana Employers Association. Following this meeting, government offered enhanced and time-bound measures in respect of our demands and the fight against illegal mining. Organized Labor has therefore decided to suspend the intended strike action. We are calling all workers to report for work on 10th of October 2024 and beyond.
The coalition of concerned teachers led by King Ali Audu says they are satisfied with the proposals put forth by government.
As we speak, we are left with 2 months into December elections. By the time the state will go through the processes of declaring a state of emergency, we may have gotten closer to elections. And when the state of emergency is declared also around that time, it is going to even affect the 7th December elections. You don't know the areas in this country where the state of emergency will be declared.
But you knew this before you made a call.
Yeah, we knew this before we made the call because we wanted to achieve certain things. The major thing we want to achieve was the revocation of the LI that allow mining in our forest reserve, and we have achieved just that.
But UTAG president for the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, is livid with the decision of the TUC to call off this strike.
Clearly, no deadlines. Some of us were even, we even wanted to be given the opportunity to say that, well, if this is the route to go, then let us even subject government to strict deadlines. They said they will not let us talk.
Does that suggest that even in the meeting you were not allowed to bring?
In the meeting, we were not. I mean, I made my first point. Others, a few people spoke, and if you are speaking, then the chairman gets up and says he doesn't want you to talk. And so, if you want to make further suggestions, we didn't finish the meeting, and they call you guys to be to join the meeting. You do not call a meeting and then go with a prepared speech. Otherwise, no, prepared speech that are conclusive. No, the speech has its own conclusion. We had not spoken. We had not discussed. And then you came, and then when we had not even discussed it, so we are calling off the strike. On what basis? What was the basis? It means you sat in the comfort of your bedroom with the politician who manipulated you to come and read this to us. I mean, they have people they can manipulate, but not some of us.
So as it stands now, the nationwide indefinite strike action that was proposed by the Trade Union Congress on behalf of the organized labor has been called off, but the discussion still holds as to whether the various labor unions will still proceed on this, contrary to the decision of organized labor. From the TUC headquarters here in Accra, James Savaji reporting for Joy News.
Well, so no strike today. Moving on, the Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietitians is warning that illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, is severely impacting the country's nutrition. Speaking at the 9th Nutrition Conference, President of the Academy, Professor Kingsley Kojo-Asare-Preko, highlighted the leaching of chemicals from Galamsey operations into water bodies, which is affecting quality of fish, food crops, and land use for agricultural production. He emphasized the urgent need to stop illegal mining to prevent future nutritional crisis, especially for the poor and vulnerable who cannot afford to import water. There's more in this report.
Speaking at the 9th Nutrition Conference that offered a rallying grounds to think about the development of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, President of the Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, Professor Kingsley Kojo-Asare-Preko, bemoaned how Galamsey is affecting the food crops the country depends on.
The outcome of this conference, basically, one is to come up with a position on the state of our nutrition in the changing world, and importantly also to bring up evidence that could also guide policy discussions and programming for nutrition in Africa. Right, the Galamsey has a lot to do on our nutrition. First of all, there's some leaching of these chemicals that are used in this business of Galamsey into our water bodies, that affects our fish, that affects our land, that affects the production that we get from in our foods. It is very important that we stop this matter now to save the future. Importantly, its effect on our water bodies is something that is very, very alarming. Very few people can grapple with buying water from imported water. Even what we are producing in this country, we find it difficult to buy. And so this aspect of this destruction that is happening on our water bodies is something that we should be very concerned, because these chemicals that are used in mining also have very debilitating effect on children, most especially mothers, and also on our well-being. Its effect we can see in the changing situations that we have in our time. People dying before their time, the surge in non-communicable diseases could all be attributed to that. Children who are born out of deformities are all situations that we are grappling with because of some of these challenges that Galamsey brings to us. Right? I will appeal to the government to be very firm in stopping the Galamsey menace now to save us a lot in the future that is ahead of us.
Speaking on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor Martin Eko spoke about the challenges posed by climate change and challenged the scientists to do more.
It is important to iterate that we stand at a critical juncture in our global food systems. In today's rapidly changing world, our food systems face unprecedented challenges. The challenges posed by climate change, rapid urbanization, economic instability, public health crisis, and shifting dietary patterns necessitate a transformative approach to nutrition and food security.
Representing the Central Regional Minister was Blessed Kwame Dake. He indicated government commitment to transforming food systems and improving nutrition in the country.
The government is mindful of the numerous challenges attributed to the food system faced by our dear country, and for that matter, has been making significant strides in transforming food systems and improving nutrition. Among these are the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project, GCAP, and Food System Resilience Project, FSRP2.
Participants at the 2024 Nutrition Conference outlined measures to improve food security and safeguard nutrition.
In other stories, the Minister for Agriculture, Dr. Bryony Champong, has disclosed that government has commenced the distribution of fertilizer and farm inputs to farmers who are affected by this year's dry spell. He said 118,000 metric tons of fertilizer and 5,133 metric tons of seed would be distributed to about 800 smallholder farms. The minister's speech, which was read by the Deputy Minister for Agriculture, Hadi Tuferu, said farmers cropping under 2 acres and commercial farmers are beneficiaries of this package. He said this at a town hall meeting organized by the Information Ministry held in Tamale.
The Tamale Town Hall meeting, organized by the Ministry of Information in collaboration with the Regional Coordinating Council, created a platform to account to the people of the region government's infrastructure project, social interventions, and also highlighted government achievements so far. It offered people the opportunity to also ask questions. Speaking at the event, Deputy Minister for Agriculture Hadi Tuferu said commercial farmers would also benefit from the package.
We have since conducted an extensive audit and analysis of the situation and mobilized government resources, secure approval of Parliament, and support from the World Bank and the development partners. We have also secured grains and provided a food availability assurance audit, and we can assure the nation that our current food system is safe. 20,000 metric tons of fertilizer to commercial farmers nationwide. So it is not only smallholder farmers, commercial farmers stands to benefit.
Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. Alex Ampabin, said 500 million have been approved to deal with the impact of the dry spell.
The ministry came out with an 8.2 million Ghana cedi budget. So the Ministry of Finance had to do a budget realignment, reallocating certain lines in order to accommodate for the contingency that faced us. We've also been able to get Parliament approval for 500 million from the contingency fund. In addition to this, we've also gotten the support of the the World Bank on a $150 million repurpose project. And there are other partners who are undertaking their own activity to support their own intervention, or working in other capacity with the ministry. The Ministry of Finance is working collaboratively with the Ministry of Agric in supporting our farmers, pegging an amount of around 1,000 Ghana cedi per hectare.
The Minister for Information, Fatima Abubakar, said she was excited to be in the region.
That is filled with so much joy. When I was informed that when we check the itinerary, we are supposed to come to Tamale, I said, this is homecoming for me. We know the disparity that we've experienced over a long period of time when it comes to developments. And I'm excited that all the good work that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia have given the good people of the northern region will be on display today through the exhibition and also through the Honorable Regional Minister's presentation.
The Northern Regional Minister, Shani Alhassan Shaibu, highlighted some development projects executed in the area.
Provision of school infrastructure, recruitment and training of teachers, and the implementation of technology-driven education. These have helped to improve the quality of teaching and learning in our schools. 593 JHS public schools, 155 private JHS schools, giving us a total of 748 JHS schools. I'm happy to announce that the Northern region topped the transition statistics in the country with a 98% rate under the free senior high school policy.
The Ghana Boundary Commission has revealed that it has reaffirmed 350 kilometers of the country's land boundary with Togo, targeting more than 100 kilometers of work before the end of the year. Speaking at a joint meeting between the Ghana Boundary Commission and the Togo Boundary Commission in the Togolese capital, Lomé, Commissioner General of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Emmanuel Kutia, said reaffirmation exercises are important for maintaining security along Ghana's international borders. Boundary reaffirmation exercises involve the replacement of destroyed or worn-out boundary pillars to help clearly define boundaries.
The Ghana Boundary Commission works to ensure that Ghana's land, maritime and air boundaries are effectively secured and managed. The meeting in Togo brought together personnel from the Ghana Boundary Commissions of Togo and Ghana. The main objective of the meeting was the continuation of the reaffirmation exercise on the international land boundary line between Ghana and Togo. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Commissioner General of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Major General Emmanuel Kutia, revealed that the Ghana Boundary Commission has reaffirmed 350 kilometers of the country's land boundary with Togo, targeting more than 100 kilometers of work before the year ends.
So far, as I mentioned, we have done about 350 kilometers of reaffirmation. We've gone through 4 phases. It has been a long way, and the technical teams are well prepared to continue with the exercise starting from tomorrow if possible. Envisaging that we'll come up with timelines when
at least we should have some a distance of not less than 200 kilometers reaffirmed by the end of the year. We also, the second part is that we also want the construction of the boundary pillars to resume by the Togolese contractor, and then the Ghana contractor also start the construction of the boundary pillars from 150 kilometers up north. In all, we think that the technical committee should be able to meet immediately to resume this work as soon as possible.
Major General Imanukocha says the two commissions will work together to ensure that their land, maritime and air boundaries are effectively secured and managed.
The cooperation has been very good. Togo, for instance, has transited from one leadership to another leadership whilst this has been going on. And the transition has been very good because the new leadership of the Land Boundary Commission of Togo have been very cooperative, just like the first one. And I think that the zeal and the exuberance that the new leadership has brought is even going to help us to accelerate the work that we're doing along the international boundary line. We were hoping that by the end of this year, we would have even reached up, we would have gone up to the northeast region of Ghana, in line with our objective that we were doing. But because of the suspension since April, we're hoping that we should be able to catch up with not less than 200 kilometers so that we would see what we can do and continue with this project. Otherwise, the funding that we're getting from GIZ, we may be losing it altogether because GIZ have provided funding for this year for both the reaffirmation and the construction of the pillars.
Togo's Minister of Territorial Administration, Decentralization, Security and Civil Protection, who spoke in French, applauded the two boundary commissions, urging them to continue to work harmoniously for the good of both countries.
Let's get into our election headquarters and do some stories. The national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, has indicated that his party would win the Hohoe constituency seat in the December 7th parliamentary elections. According to him, the electorates have identified that the New Patriotic Party failed to fulfill the promises that lured them to vote for their parliamentary candidates and hence would return to the NDC. Mr. Nketia said this when he kicked off his campaign tour of the Volta region in the Hohoe constituency.
The NDC lost the Hohoe parliamentary seat to the NPP in 2020, where John Peter Amewu beat Professor Margaret Kweku with about 5,000 votes. It was the only seat the NPP won out of the 18 in the Volta region. However, the NDC has staged a massive comeback for the Hohoe parliamentary seat. The national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, expressed optimism of the opposition party winning back the Hohoe seat during the campaign tour in the constituency.
Hohoe is coming back to NDC, and NDC is going to move Hohoe to the next level. Hohoe is potentially Kumasi in the east. And the game changer is the Western Corridor, Eastern Corridor Road. The game changer is the Eastern Corridor Road.
The Hohoe NDC parliamentary candidate, Wolanyo Chekpo, entreated the electorate to vote for him as their next member of parliament, as he has already begun implementing his development agenda for the constituency. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Hohoe.
Coming up next is Business Update with Benjamin Akapo.
Thank you for staying. Now, the National Petroleum Authority is assuring consumers of enough supplies of LPG, despite concerns being raised by the Marketers Association over what it describes as some bureaucracy in the petroleum sector. The marketers had warned of a possible shortage of the product due to the current state of LPG reserves in the country and challenges with new rules for importing domestic gas. But reacting to the matter, Communications Manager of the MPA, Mamudu Akudugu, maintains there is enough supply to meet demand.
I have two sources to this particular product. One is the local source that is coming from Atrabo. Then we have another that we import into the country. Atrabo has not shut down. There is a challenge in the quantity of volume that we are expecting from Atrabo. The understanding we've had from Atrabo is that hopefully by next week they would have gone back to the full production that they used to do. And that can help in the artificial shortage that we are currently witnessing from the enclave of the western part of this country. What is happening is that the procedure was to be loading for the people within a particular enclave to pick the product from around the Atrabo. But because of that inability to have the expected production, we've now actually exempted the cross-zonalization clause, so people can now come to Tema. So BRVs can come to Tema and lift the product and send them to the western region so that consumers out there can get it. So the issue that we see in western region is artificial. It is not something that is of national character at all. And like I said from the beginning, we have more than enough in the country to meet the demands of the people. The issue is just about a certain technicality around distribution. That is as a result of the reduction in the volumes that we were expecting from Atrabo.
Now, the Ghana Union of Traders Association is asking the Energy Commission to be heavy on its public sensitization programs to educate consumers on energy-related issues. According to the president of the association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, this will help to promote awareness and demand for renewable energy sources and energy-efficient products among Ghanaians. He was speaking at the launch of the 2024 Ghana Power and Energy Expo.
The consuming public is not even aware. It shouldn't be that we bring technical requirement only for the importer, but then we should also educate the final consumer on the new trends of what is required of us. Because how is the final consumer going to know that this product consumes less energy? I think this is the way to go. That's what Energy Commission is working very hard on. But I think the consumer education is lacking. And that's why I will need Energy Commission in the next meeting so that at least we can also tell the exhibitors the new trend that the nation requires, what the nation requires, because we don't have to bring the obsolete. Sometimes they will bring the obsolete that is not being used in the advanced nations and fund destination in Africa and elsewhere. We do not require that.
Well, that's how we cap off the business updates together with the news. This right here is the news review on the AM show. My name is Benjamin Akakwo. Thank you for staying. And my guests this morning, straight down to it, Afe Omoni, former president of the Ghana Journalists Association. Kwame Nkrumah is general secretary of the CPP. Both of them join me this morning as we get into the issues. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Yeah. I was teasing Mr. Money a short while ago that he should be in a certain boxer's camp. Can you guess the boxer? Kwame Nkrumah.
Not really.
You can't?
No.
You know Floyd Mayweather, he has the money team, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
So I was teasing him that I feel money should be a part of the money team. But here we go, another morning. Today should have been a day when organized labor was going to show force, show power.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they are whimpering like, what should I say? A certain animal with its...
Headless chicken.
With its...
Headless chicken.
Some would say a dog with its tail between its legs. Some would say that. But on the other hand, you would also notice that, and I'll give you your time to do the usual. You would also notice that, for example, the medical groups, the Ghana Medical Association, the registered midwives, nurses and midwives. I mean, if all of these people go on strike, in the end, we'll be affected. The generality of the population will be affected in some way. It's a reality. We can't even pretend that will not happen. So some have asked, how should we have played the balancing act, especially considering what happened with the SNIT Hotels saga and everything. And there's also that bit about who got money or who did not. Did money exchange hands? Did money not exchange hands?
Investigating.
Well, some of these things, only God can investigate. Only God knows what happens in these. But those are just some thoughts we'll get into. For now, let's take your initial thoughts, what you have for us this morning. I'll start with you, Mr. Botiu.
Well, as usual, top of my mind this morning is the Galamsey menace.
Galamsey.
It's taken such proportions that it's great cause for alarm.
Monstrous, eh?
Yes, yes. And it is not as if we didn't see it coming. I mean, a lot of foreign, even foreign stations had videos on it on YouTube and other places a few years ago about how the health implications were going to be dire, about how even the fish in these rivers were ingesting mercury and other things and then getting back on our table. And now we hear our foodstuffs that we've been exporting also have high levels of metals.
Your yam, likely your cassava, your plantain.
Exactly, because agric is one of the areas of export that we can use to get foreign exchange. And if that in itself is becoming unattractive, then we are in we are in deep trouble. So top of my mind, as usual, is the Galamsey menace and organized labor's response to government's proposal. And I suppose regarding organized labor, I believe that they took the right action in threatening the strike. However, the conclusion on reversing their decision to go on strike, that is a very dicey issue. And I agree with Mr. Money that certain things should be investigated, because calling off the strike indeed will also save us some problems, you know, because if organized labor goes on strike, a lot of us will be in hot waters. At the same time too, with every second that Galamsey goes on, we get into even bigger trouble. So it's a very, very delicate...
Caught between the
balance.
devil and the deep blue sea.
Exactly, exactly. And I accept the call for it to be investigated. I think...
oh, you think the stance of organized labor should be investigated?
It should
the sudden backtrack or pirouette should be investigated?
The sudden backtrack. And even beyond...
But wait, investigated by whom? To what end?
Well, I suppose we, the political parties, we have our people on the ground. We need to find out exactly what is happening. And also, we need to find out if our eminent chiefs in Ghana are being harassed or intimidated in any way. Because I know that Galamsey comes a lot of money. Some of these people use the money to buy arms. Even a few days ago, there was one incident somewhere where two young men were shot or were killed during a protest. And in the end, there was a dispute whether they were shot or whether they drowned. So I know our chiefs are very influential in society. And I think one of the solutions to this Galamsey menace is to empower the chiefs to speak to those in their jurisdiction in order to tone down on the wanton destruction of the environment. And also, the EPA too has to be up and doing, because one of the main problems with this Galamsey menace is the refusal to fill the pits after the mining. So it is not just carrying out the mining per se, but leaving the land as it is. The land has to be reclaimed in a
No
way.
reclamation done.
Exactly, because we are all aware that when it comes to gold mining, it is not only the illegal gold mining that causes environmental degradation. Even the legal gold mining in itself also has its issues. So I think the EPA too should be up and doing to check whether the land reclamation is done. And then I'm glad there are special courts being set up to try Galamsey issues. And it should even go further to check for those who do not reclaim the land or do not refill the land after they have carried out the Galamsey. So we all have a stake in this. We all have to work together, and our various institutions should be empowered, whether financially or in terms of protection. You see, because our chiefs too, sometimes they also receive threats. There are people who've decided to stand up to the illegal mining, and they receive all kinds of threats and are not able to do what they have to do in order to curb the menace. So I am glad the Honorable Minister, Honorable Abu Jinapor, has come out with these proposals in order to satisfy organized labor. But a close eye should be kept on them, just as a close eye was kept on SNIT during the hotel saga. And if they don't live up to their word, then we will see the next line of action.
And maybe if some have threatened that if this is how labor is going to act, then next time they are on their own. Because then we know that maybe we are being used so that in the end someone may get... Some people have espoused those thoughts. But let me come to Mr. Money. So you look at this, I mean, Joseph Osei-Wusu, Joe Wise, as we all call him, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, has spoken about shooting to kill. I think we've got to the point where, if you remember armed robbery, especially when the NDC took over, in let's say the early 90s when the NDC was in power, there were some areas where the scourge of armed robbery was maddening. And it took certain reactions for it to be curbed. and I lived in one of those communities at the time, so I understand what that meant. He is proposing some shoot-to-kill policy. Some have said that is extreme, but how do we sanitize this? In recent days, I heard the story of a young man who some years back said, not very recent, but some years back, maybe 2017 or something of the sort, said that in one trip of doing Galamsey, he had secured enough to buy 7 Benz Sprinter buses.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that article, yes.
Which job will give you that kind of money? But at the same time, are we going to say that for the Bible speaks about the love of money, not that money is evil, but the love of it is evil. For the love of money, will we destroy everything? And then what will be left? What else will we tap into? Because this Galamsey thing is destroying the land, is destroying the water, it is killing our fish, it is depleting our fish stock. Now, for those consuming things from there, babies are being born with all sorts of deformities. If we are not careful, we shall soon have a full-scale health crisis, kidney, liver, intestinal, lung diseases, cancers, I mean, you name it. Because Fufuna Obedino, you will use all of these. Yeah. So every day you kill yourself a little. By the time we realize it, it's gone. You are killing your cash crops. Look at what is happening to cocoa, partly on the back of. So it appears this Galamsey scourge is it's a hydra-headed problem, destroying everything at once. Your reactions?
Ben, before I come to the severity of the crisis caused by Galamsey, permit me to ventilate what I consider a huge concern about the devaluation.
Devaluation?
Yes, of our presidential race.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting point.
Yeah. You know, the presidency, we all know, is the most consequential office in the land. And we need people whose qualities, whose competencies, whose characters fit the bill. But we have a situation where in every election year, you know, we as a nation, we elevate to a higher pitch of comedy. This very serious race for the presidency. The Constitution, Article 468, Chapter 8, Article 68 spells out who qualifies to be a president: 40 years minimum age, sound mind, might have paid your taxes, and you shouldn't have been convicted for treason and other aspects out in the Constitution. But at the same time, we know that constitutions are made for man. So we have all the latitude, we have all the power to institute some engineering to this constitutional provision, so that those who qualify for, or those who stand, candidates who stand, will not reduce this serious business of the presidency to a comedy. So the situation now is that year in, year out, we are infusing a larger dose of comedy or concert into a presidential race by the quality of the candidate who choose to stand for presidency. But we as we grow as a nation, as we grow democratically, as we grow in all dimensions of national life, we should also ensure that at least we tighten, tighten the door a bit, so that the entry point will not be as loose as it is now. This is my take. And back to Galamsey.
Back to Galamsey. Let's
yeah, Galamsey, it's mind-boggling and nerve-wracking and spine-chilling that as a nation we sat down to get to this point of ecological and genocidal proportions. Where were the military all this while? Where have the police personnel been? What is going to happen, and what has happened to the DCs in the Galamsey endemic areas?
That some of the DCs are themselves, if you look at the report of the Fourth Estate, some of them are themselves, what's the word, complicit in this. We've seen footage of the military, and now the Lands and Natural Resources Minister is telling us about, the Navy and River Guards. Well,
so the complicity, the duplicity, and the mendacity which have brought us to this level of crisis proportions. So what's the guarantee that the raft of measures announced yesterday will be big enough as a bandage to our wound? As you see, we are bleeding as a nation. We are bleeding profusely.
Hemorrhaging badly. And by the way, they knew they could do this, but they had to wait till there was some agitation. And we would now get to this point. How many days ahead of, less than 60 days to the election? Well, for me, I keep saying that we can all pretend, we can all keep mute, but I keep saying it will reach everybody. No one will be spared. Unless you are getting all your food from some other country, unless you're getting all your water from some other country. After all, the lands minister says he drinks tap water. So he drinks tap water every day. Wow. So, yeah.
One will wonder why he's still keeping his position.
Pardon me?
As one will be wondering why he's still keeping his position as a lands minister.
I met a stalwart. I was at West Africa Civil Society Institute event yesterday. And I was telling one of the MPP stalwarts, and I can't mention his name, but I was mentioning that, sometimes it's like slapping somebody, and then the person loses a few teeth. then you go look into the person's mouth and ask, but why are you complaining? Is it simply because you are bleeding and you've lost a few teeth? You know, it's like adding insult to injury. Because let's even give him that, granted, he drinks tap water every day. Looking at the situation and how people, the angst, how people feel about it, is that a comment you should come out and make?
Certainly not. Certainly not. I
guess.
Yeah. I listened to him yesterday with all absorbing attention and all consuming seriousness, because this is a matter which is threatening to spell the extinction of this nation. And as we sat down, so the supreme question once again is the bandage we've applied to the wound of Galamsey big and absorptive enough to stanch the blood flow? So this is what the media should follow up in the name of solutions-oriented journalism. We should continue to ensure that we monitor these enhanced operations to combat Galamsey with all tenacity, with all intensity, and with all ferocity. And let me seize the opportunity to commend Joy Multimedia for the frontal role you are playing in the fight against Galamsey. Others are doing well, they are beat. So the media, this is a fight we dare not, we must not fail to win. Otherwise, this nation will move backward instead of moving forward.
But some entities still say they are going ahead. UTAG has declared its strike, and I think it was over 70% voting yes, about 20-something, 21+% saying no. So by an overwhelming majority, they will go on strike. I think one thing, someone is sharing a message that he thinks disorganized labor cashed out yesterday. I don't know. That's his opinion, Jonathan. But I think while I wasn't in support of a wholesale strike, industrial action, because what it means is the judicial service, if you go to court, if you go to hospital, it basically would mean the country had been crippled. But if for the sake of making a strong point, because in the end, if the economy shuts down, we'll face consequences. If Galamsey continues as it is, especially when on the back of all this talk and organized labor trying to do something, which now they've backed out of by and large, you still have licenses being given out. It tells you that it will get to a point soon where it will be practically irreversible. The least you can do when water gets to the point where it is so saturated with some of these heavy metals, it gets to the point where there's practically nothing you can do. It's also well nigh impossible to extract mercury and cyanide and some of these heavy metals from water once mixed. Unless, you wait decades and all of that. So we just might get to the point where it's gone and it's gone. It's like a desert. And we have to live with it. I don't know, but for me, I just keep saying that we've become so polarized that we can't even speak the truth in this country. And it makes one want to retch. So sickening. You can't speak the truth without being labeled green, black, white, red, or red, white, blue.
And they said that truth becomes truth, or truth is only truth when it is spoken. So if you know the truth and you fail to speak the truth, then it ceases to be truth. So we have a responsibility, especially the media, to ventilate our concerns, expose wrongdoings, make sure that we keep a constant eye on certain dark spots in society. And Galamsey is one foremost area we need to sharpen our focus in order for us as a nation to win this fight.
Well, let's get into some stories now. I'll start with you, Afil Moni. Which paper do you have? What are the headlines?
Daily Guide. A lot of stories are competing for attention on the front page of Daily Guide. We have Nana Begins New Galamsey fight, which is the story of the day. And confusion rocks organized labor, cause of strike, which is true. And any twist to this whole Galamsey saga, organized labor doing NDC's bidding, according to the MPP national organizer. And we have as a story backed by a picture of His Excellency the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, and Domahini. And Domahini is quoted as saying that Dr. Bawumia has proved them wrong, and this in relation to his performance in office. We also have Michael Quay Jr. leading breast cancer campaign. That's the Daily Guide for you. So, maybe I can go ahead and look at the story of the day. Chaos has erupted within organized labor as some workers' unions have broken ranks and distanced themselves from the intended nationwide strike scheduled to commence tomorrow. Today, the deepening rifts within the labor movement, which has led to confusion and uncertainty, has forced the leadership of organized labor to announce the suspension of the intended strike. This we all know, but we need to hammer the point that the present leadership of organized labor will forever stand condemned at the bar of history if they fail to redeem their image. Their front is divided, and the Bible, which is a perennial spring of wisdom and infallible guide of conduct, tells us, a house divided by itself cannot stand. So if organized labor, at this critical moment in the history of this country, are so disorganized that some have tagged them as disorganized labor instead of organized labor. They cannot iron out their differences and pull in one direction, fight on a common front. Then history will not be fair to them. So as you speak, the whole nation is watching, the world is watching, and history is watching. Never should they allow themselves to be consigned to the dustbin of history for failing to act when it matters most. Organized labor, I know Joshua Ansah, he rose from the ranks. He's a true unionist. And other crop of leaders too. I mean, their track record indicates that they've done justice to their mettle as organized labor. But this is a fight which threatens to spell the doom of this nation. So I would have expected them to fight, sing from the same hymn sheet, fight on a common front, and pull in one direction. So what is happening is a disgrace. So they have a responsibility imposed by heaven to dismantle this ignoble tag of disorganized labor. Otherwise, history will not deal with them fairly.
Okay. History, well, you say history will not deal with them fairly. Maybe history will not be kind to them. Might sound like a better option. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into your papers, Kwame Nkrumah.
If you look at page 7 of
which paper is this?
The New Republic.
Right.
There's a very important story there about Democratic Hub criticizes delay in release of protesters on bail.
Yeah.
And
granted bail, but you'll cook inside for a while.
Yes. Democratic Hub has done a good job. And the last time I was on this show, I pleaded with the judiciary to grant them bail. Of course, it's discretionary, not that they have to willy-nilly just kowtow to the desires of anybody. And fortunately, their lordships looked into the law and decided to grant bail to most of them. I think from my checks, the only one who's still on remand is my friend Oliver. However, I would want to just call on the Democratic Hub protesters that they should have faith in the judiciary.
They should, eh?
They should have faith in the judiciary because, you know, when you are granted bail, it is not automatic that you just walk out of court and go home. The bail conditions that are imposed on
the sureties and others,
they have to be satisfied. So rest assured, they'll be out very soon. And I know that their lawyers are working round the clock. So they shouldn't worry because temperatures are already high in the country. So I'll call on them that they shouldn't worry. Everything will be fine.
But Kwame Nkrumah, those processes, you see, these things can happen to anybody. The judicial system shouldn't be weaponized against anybody.
Yes.
These people had been cooking in there for, and I'd gone twice to see some of them.
Yeah.
Felicity Nelson, Benjamin Dako, among others, you know, at the cantonment's police station.
Yeah.
The point being that this could happen to anybody. Sometimes when you see your neighbor's beard on fire, you want to get water by your side. When bail is granted, there are certain processes that must follow.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a process.
Yes.
But if you also realize that certain processes must follow from the police, from the justice system, from here and there, and those processes are dragging unnecessarily, or you are in court and for 2 hours you are sitting in a van in the court and no one is doing anything, no one is telling you anything. And after a number of days, you are still in the cooler. Some questions ought to be raised.
Yes.
I don't think it's out of order for them to question why, after all this time, yes, you will have to find someone who can meet the bail conditions and, you know, serve the sureties and all of that, so that in case any of them absconds, the right, you know, legal procedures can follow. But honestly, if this is how everything will be done for every citizen, then let's play along. Then some people in future shouldn't complain about anything because then it becomes the norm. So let's normalize it if that's all we want to do.
Yeah, but I see where you're coming from. And I know that there are some lapses there. Sometimes your clients
monumental lapses.
Yes, sometimes your clients may get bail, but the court has to end sittings for the day before the registrar can call for the docket and act on it.
I'm aware of all of these, but I'm saying that if it's so protracted that it goes over and beyond any length of time, then of course you start.
That one I agree with you that it's unfair. And another story that is interesting is Ghana Armed Forces Operation HALT teams up with small-scale miners to fight mining in river bodies, which means that if we do not take care, this issue is going to become even worse. Because as far as I know, they are not mining in the river bodies, but near the river bodies. So if now they are stepping in the river bodies, then things...
Some of the Galamseyers are doing it
then it's very serious.
The river bodies.
Then it's very serious.
Inside it, right in the middle of it.
Then it's very bad. Because I remember I was one of those who raised an uproar over Honorable Osei Wusu's statement on the shoot to kill on the Galamseys. Because shoot to kill is more or less an extrajudicial process. Anybody could be there for any reason. There could be plainclothes policemen at the side there to arrest. And then, I mean, so I don't support those ones. And I remember those days when armed robbery was rampant, the role that the neighborhood watchdogs played. Yeah. You see, so we have to decentralize this fight as much as possible. In Accra, I do not see much of Galamsey. But I remember I went for a wedding in I think it was Prestia a few years ago, 2018. And the hotel we're staying in, right there in the town, we're staying in a hotel, you look out of your window, and people are actually doing Galamsey right there in the town. It was terrible. It was terrible. So I believe that we should act on these issues as soon as possible. The Ghana Armed Forces, it is good they have teamed up with the small-scale miners. Otherwise, we will get to a situation where, as you said, the love of money can cause all kinds of problems. And on my way here, I was listening to some news items, and they're talking about the Gold Coast. Now when you fly, I remember I went to Nigeria a few months ago, and you have the luxury of the plane,
the aerial view,
a bit low, not like international flights, and the aerial view of this country is, I mean, it's.
I think recently
there
was a news. Was it Al Jazeera or the BBC or Sky News? One of those. They did that. They had an aerial view. When you look at Ghana, from the sky,
it's terrible.
You think you're looking at a puddle of mud.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Even when you are flying to Tamale, you look down and the kind of things you see. This country was once known as a Gold Coast, but now we are venturing towards a situation where we'll be known as a Gold Ghost. You understand?
The Gold what?
The Gold Ghost. Because, and one thing that Mr. Money said, he said, I mean, the truth is one. You understand me? The truth is one. We all know the truth. You don't need much more evidence to see that what is happening is costing the country a lot. It's costing the country a lot. And as he stated, I mean, that the Bible talks of the love of money. It's actually in 1 Timothy 6:10. It says, for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. It is through this craving that some have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many pangs. We are piercing ourselves with many evils. It is not just the diseases that come along with Galamsey. We also have many security issues that will come along with Galamsey. The quick and astronomical profit that is made by these people, some of them use it to buy weapons. So it is. Oh yeah. We are putting a
lot of the Galamseyers
our security at risk. In 2017, the government banned Galamsey for some time. There's nothing wrong with doing that again. And even as far back as 2013, also, there was a huge crackdown on Galamsey, and many foreigners were deported from the country. And one news article I read was to the effect that the equipment left behind by those who were deported are those being used by the citizenry to carry out the Galamsey. You know, the Constitution applies to foreigners and locals alike. But if you look at it...
But there are differences. There are certain things foreigners can't do.
Exactly. But I'm saying that the clampdown...
Small-scale mining and the rest, they are not supposed to.
The clampdown was not only on the fact that they were doing a business activity they were not allowed to do, but also because they were degrading the environment. So if these people have been deported for falling foul of the law, then why are we treating our own citizenry with kid gloves? The law should apply to them just as it applies to foreigners.
And there's another biblical quote that comes to mind. For lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
So we are acting as though we didn't know.
Yes.
Eventually, I guess, when the consequences hit, everybody will be affected. Yes. And if people will perish, I guess they'll perish. Maybe then the scales will fall off our eyes.
Yes.
The corks will get out of our ears. And then we can sidestep politics and realize that this is a menace likely not in the future, likely now, killing all of us.
Yes.
I ate yam a few days ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You eat banku.
Yeah.
You eat your fufu. You eat whatever you eat. So
and there's one report which indicates that our yams are yams.
Oh yes,
are not,
heavy metals.
Yeah, heavy metals.
And you see, when heavy metals get into your body is not meant to receive heavy metals. Your body can't process heavy metals. So the cancers and the other diseases will be rife in the system. How many Ghanaians can afford even kidney treatment, dialysis? How many of you out there can afford it? Looking at the minimum wage and how much people earn. Can you pay the 400 and something a week for at least 2 weeks every month? Mostly it should be 3 or 4 sessions. They can't afford it, so some people will downsize. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
But let's play with it. Yeah. Let's do what we like doing. Like I'm saying, as for those who have salted away enough money to travel and the rest, and we see it, when they are sick, they don't stay in Ghana. They go elsewhere, get the treatment, and come back. Where will we travel to?
Yeah.
Any other stories you want to look at quickly?
If you look at the first page of the same...
Are you still on the first paper, or you've moved to the second?
The second paper, the second paper
So you can do what you're doing. I just want you to address them quickly. So you can do the New Republic.
I honestly would prefer this because the second paper is, as Mr. Moni was saying, about our presidential campaigns being watered down and not being about issues. I think I'll remain on the New Republic because it's speaking to a lot of important,
so go ahead.
Important issues.
For the sake of time.
And it speaks of Ghana drinks poison. Who pays the price from treatment to recycling? It also speaks of Jubilee House in Galamsey hot waters. And this shows that the government itself has been dragged into this Galamsey issue deeply. Of course, it's an issue about the citizenry on the ground. But if indeed Jubilee House is involved and all that, that means that the president should once again declare a temporary ban on illegal mining. It is very, very important that this is done. Otherwise, it will take a very long time for the New Patriotic Party to regain their image. If you look at the polls now, it looks like they are suffering terribly because of this Galamsey issue.
And do you know one of the most annoying things? The picture being painted that, oh, it is triggered by a political party. The opposition wants to score political points, political gains on it. That is why they are doing this. And my response to them, I tell them, let's say that is true. Assume that is true. How about the problem itself? Will you politicize the solutions too? Ghanaians don't care who is doing what or who has done what. Now, we have a crisis. Let's deal with the crisis. So when these leaders want to get political about everything, I watch some of them and just wonder whether, pardon me, whether they are thinking. Do you get it?
Yeah, but
it's a national crisis. Whether someone is stoking it or not, as a leader, what do? You act and solve the problem. All this Operation Halt and the rest, what have we not seen before? If this could have solved it in the past, would we be here?
We are told it's an enhanced operation, enhanced. We should come with rapid results. So we need to monitor and see how rapid the results are. And I believe the one determinant of the success of this enhanced operation will be the color of the water we drink. And the quality of the water we drink.
And speaking of water, the polymers we use, they don't wash away heavy metals. So since the lands minister says he's been drinking tap water, maybe some free advice for him that I'm not bastardizing the Ghana Water Company Limited and the work they do. They work within the space and they do what they can with the resources they have. But polymers don't take away heavy metals. So if the lands minister says he's drinking it every day, he might want to think again. The Daily Graphic newspaper, Church will be development partner, Bawumia reaffirms, ensuring peace on December 7, prosecute 2020 election killing perpetrators. Emil Short said so. I was at this event yesterday and he said that we can't be calling for peace and the rest when in 2020, you know, variously, we have had reports of some saying 5, others going as far as saying 8 of them, and that you can't be out there touting, we want peace, and you've not dealt with those who perpetrated those acts. I listened to some saying that don't involve the NDC's representative there, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. Don't involve the military. It's not their jurisdiction. But ACP Yamwa was also there and said that depending on the situation, they work hand in glove with us and we may have to bring them. So it was quite an interesting discussion. The UN representative, coordinator in Ghana, Charles Abani, was also there, spoke passionately about some of these issues. So again, we pray for peace, but peace doesn't just come.
But why did the roadblock
things must be done to ensure peace?
To the investigation to this issue, it's boggles the mind. It's why have we failed as a nation to investigate the causal factors of the killing of 8 precious human beings?
Why has Galamsey got to the state it has? It's the same answer. Lack of political will.
Yeah, we know. Galamsey is so clear that political will has been so conspicuous with its absence.
You see, if justice is served, you don't have to tell someone that, if you go to court, you'll get justice, or the system is just.
Yeah.
Back in the day when you knew that if I sit this exam and if I work hard and if I do X, Y, Z, I will pass this exam. And if I pass this exam, I will get into a good institution. Now, all of those values and principles no longer apply. It's whom you know and all of that. So things have changed, and it's clear. The system is what it is, and people react.
And it's to change for the better.
To that system. Organized labor rescinds Galamsey strike. Government acts on concerns. On the back page, Otoado confident of Black Stars' victory. We are winding down on this conversation so we can veer into sports. On the international front, Mozambique votes in election likely to keep ruling party in power. Stigma adds to Burundi's challenges in Mpox fighting. We have 2 cases so far, no deaths, thankfully. And on page 7, the human right to safe environment. That's a story to be checked out. Pilot dies while flying aircraft. It's a Turkish Airlines pilot. You can check out the story on page 9. And Ukraine summit postponed after Biden cancels Germany visit. That's it from my end. Gentlemen, let's do 20 seconds each, and it's a wrap. Final words. I'll start with you, Kwame Nkrumah.
I would want to commend Mozambique on their election. And I believe they have shown the way for many African countries, including Ghana. I know that they had election observers even from Ghana. One of the CPP national leadership members, I will not mention the name for now, was invited to be an election observer. And from the feedback we are getting, it was free and fair and well organized. And I think Ghana should take a cue from that and prepare adequately for December 7th. We, the CPP, we have full faith in the EC, but we do know that this is a country where we had 8 deaths uninvestigated. If necessary to bring in the military, why not? We know that this is a job for the police, but then they can also use the military police, and where necessary, the Constitution allows for the military to come in, so that we'll have a smooth run of this year's election and avoid what happened in 2020.
Right. Your final words, Afil Money? We have to go.
We have about how many days more for the 2024 election, and we all know that every election induces its own tensions. But as a nation, we should try as much as possible to avoid the high voltage tensions which characterize our elections. Because elections and violence are cut from the same cloth. And once violence starts, no one can determine how it will end. As a nation, we have a responsibility to vote wisely, to vote peacefully. Right. At the end of it all, we shall be at peace with ourselves and peace with the rest of the world.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining the conversation. Kwame Nkrumah Botsio is actually General Secretary of the Convention People's Party. In fact, he has 2 political names, Kwame Nkrumah and then Botsio. Botsio itself, another heavyweight political name. And we also had Afil Money, who may be joining Floyd Mayweather's money. He is former president of the GJA. Thank you for joining. And do stay with us because sports is up next. We'll be serving you that shortly.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is match day, Ghana versus Sudan. Match day 3 of the ongoing AFCON 2025 qualifiers. Opening day defeat to Ghana, and there was a win for Sudan. Ghana drew its second game, and Sudan lost its second game. Match day 3 will see former Black Stars head coach Kwesi Appiah comes up against his former employ, and what it means is that it's going to be a major contest. Is he seeking a revenge against Ghana? Maybe yes, maybe not, but one of the things he has at the back of his mind is to ensure that Sudan is able to secure qualification to the AFCON next year. But he says that he also wants Ghana to be there as well. My colleague Daniel Cranton monitored the final training sessions of the two teams, Ghana and Sudan, and has more in this report.
Once upon a time, James Kwesi Appiah was at the front line preparing Ghana into battle in the AFCON qualifiers. Today, he represents the enemy in the Black Stars' quest to book qualification for the 2025 AFCON in Morocco. After picking up 3 points from a possible 6 in their opening 2 games, Appiah's Sudan have put themselves in a promising position to snatch qualification from Ghana ahead of the first of their 2 meetings on Thursday. Preparation for the game, however, has not necessarily been satisfactory for the Sudanese.
It's been good. The only problem is the training pitch for us. Not good like that, but we will take it like that. But of course, what they gave us at Akwana, at the St. Thomas there for us was not too good enough. And so, as it were, we are now trying to see how this pitch will be and how we will, like as it were, manage the game. But as it stands now for us, if we are likely to meet the pitch at Kwanas here, at the Accra Sports Stadium, I think we are going to see some awful football.
The game has been touted as a battle between the two coaches in Appiah against Otuado, although Sudan insists Kwesi Appiah's focus isn't on a personal battle against the Ghana coach.
And for Kwesi Appiah, everybody knows his pedigree as a coach. He has nothing to prove. Assistant coaches don't add anything. We don't have anything to prove. Sometimes, for 1 year now, nobody even knows I'm the assistant coach of Sudan unless you're a Ghanaian. So I have nothing to also prove because he has nothing. So it's just a matter of, that's why I said from beginning, from Muftau, it's only unfortunate that we had to meet. I wish this match never happened.
Ghana will be without the services of Captain Thomas Partey, Joseph Pinsel and Osman Bukari, a situation that has impacted the team's preparations. But Otuado is choosing not to dwell on the absences, but rather on those present.
Not happy if player which we called are not there, but to be honest, I don't use too much time to think about that. We are looking forward, so we are looking for what we can do, what we can influence. I can't influence if somebody's sick or injured or whatsoever. And we are happy that our replacements came in time and they're here to help us. And this is what we're looking at. I'm sorry for the guys. I wish them a speed recovery, and that's it.
Otuado also confirmed Kudus Mohammed will captain the team in Thursday's game.
Yeah, Kudus will lead the team. I think I said it before. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if that he will be the second captain, and so for this reason he will have the captaincy. And for us, and I don't know if I said it before, but it's about leadership and responsibility. It's not about having the captain. It's about all the players.
Black Stars players were lambasted by fans for their performance against Niger last time around. And GFA President Keto Okreku decided to add his voice at the team's dinner on Tuesday. Okreku's comments have, however, received backlash, but Otuado has backed the FA president's actions.
Sometimes it's good, and I understand the situation is very, very crucial. So sometimes it's also good if somebody comes and steps up to back up my words, And I'm also talking to the players. My staff is talking to the players, the importance of the game, and so we always try to push each other. And I think it was a good talk, and hopefully it woke everyone up to show the passion which is needed on the field to win this game.
Otuado is confident his side can get the needed results if the playing body sticks to the plan.
Keeps me thinking positive about the game. I'm looking forward to the game to change things around, happy that we made it, or the GFA made it happen, that we could play in Accra.
So the Black Stars of Ghana will take on Sudan here at the Accra Sports Stadium on Thursday night, hoping to breathe life back into their AFCON 2025 qualifying campaign. Ghana are currently third on the group standings with 1 point, with the Sudanese second with 3 points. And the Black Stars will be hoping to get all 3 points to boost their qualification campaign. Reporting for Joy Sports from the Accra Sports Stadium, my name is Daniel Kranting.
And the Joy Sports Invitational 2024 is back. It is happening on October 26th at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. One of the companies that will be making their debut in this competition is IS Evolution Limited. My colleague Nathaniel Arthur paid them a visit, and guess what? Despite being debutants, their target is to clear all the trophies at stake.
All right, so I'm here in the company of the Deep Blue Army. That's what I like. Oh my goodness. Well, every other day I'm getting a surprise. But hey, guys, I think you should do a big round of applause for yourselves. This is... Okay, so this is IS Evolution's Consult based in Kokomlemle. I don't know who is going to dominate, whether it's Team Multimedia or it's going to be, IS Evolution's Consult. We are the host of the competition, but now it's looking like we're getting some very, very stern competition. Guys, how's everybody doing this morning? Okay. This is amazing. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good.
What's your name?
I'm Irajwa.
Okay, Rajwa, what do you do here?
So I'm an intern here.
Okay, great stuff here. How's it been so far?
It has been great. The conditions here are so good, and everyone is very nice.
Okay, so you'll be retained after your internship.
Hopefully.
Look, what do you do here at IS Evolutions Consult?
So at IS Evolution Consult, we do mobile apps, we do web development, we do audits, we do in-house trainings as well.
I see. Interesting stuff. Look, October 26th is waiting for all of you, and you are participating for the first time. Okay, I heard a yeah. All right, look, October 26th is waiting for IS Evolutions Consult. There are many other companies that are taking part, and they've given different messages. What is it that we should watch out for from you?
Okay, we are not going to make much noise. We know what we have. We are not going to make much noise. We are not going to talk much. We just want you to know that our trademark is excellence, and we are going to do exceptionally great on the 26th of October.
Okay.
Please, we want all of you to watch out for us. We are coming. Yes.
All right. Now, everybody talks about their respective CEOs or MDs. Now, we know that the CEOs and MDs penalty shootout competition is coming up. Well, tell me what your strategy is, and also tell me which other disciplines you are hoping to dominate on the day.
Okay, so yes, with the CEO shoot, we are also going to do well. Our boss is going to do exceptionally well. He's good at whatever he's going to do, yes. He's going to do well. And we are going to participate in relay, unisex relay. We are also going to have male soccer. We are going to have the sack game. We are going to have the spoon and lime as well, yes. We want you to watch out for us, yes.
Okay. What is it that makes your boss, different from everybody else? We've heard people who say they are training with Thomas Partey. I don't know how injured players are able to do it, but one is training with Thomas Partey now, one is chilling somewhere. So what? Yeah.
As we speak currently, our boss is not here in Ghana. He has gone outside to go and meet a very good person who's going to train him very well. So please, I want you all to watch out for him. He's coming with great energy. He's going to do well. Yes.
What's his name?
He's called Divine Tay.
Okay, big shouts to... Okay, so big shouts to Mr. Divine Tay, wherever you are. They say they are hiding you. So what I realize is that everybody just seems to be hiding their respective CEOs and MDs. Well, we'll see how it goes. That just seems to be the theme for this year's, tournament. But in getting towards what will make you guys excellent. Now, some say they are taking all the trophies. Some say they are taking 4. What's your target for the day?
So actually, we are taking everything. Anything we are going to participate in, we are going to win a trophy. Everything. Everything.
You know, there was someone was telling me about, you know, the quality of the jerseys they are going to bring, their colors and everything. Is there anything you're going to tell us about that as well?
Well, we're also going to have our own thing. We don't want to really spill much. We want you guys to come and see us on the 26th. So you see what we are actually going to do. We don't want to talk much. We want to just show action. So when you come on the 26th of October, you will see us, yes.
Okay, all right. So this is where I'm just going to leave it for all of them. So they do their own thing. Okay, who takes it? Who takes it? Who doesn't?
Oh, darling Jesus, darling Jesus. Oh, my darling Jesus, you are wonderful. I love you so. Darling Jesus. Oh, my darling Jesus, you are wonderful. Oh, darling Jesus, darling Jesus. Oh, my darling, you are wonderful. I love you so.
If you want to sign up for the Joy Sports Invitation, you can go on myjoyonline.com and check on our website, the sports page, and then download the form and select the events that you want to participate in. You can also call 054-9126-905 and we'll take you through the processes just to sign up to participate in the Invitational. So far, we've been to Safoda, we've been to Nationwide Technologies, Emigo Ghana, IS Solutions, we've been to MTN, we've been to Stanbic Bank, and Omni BC. So we'll bring you so much more. So what are you waiting for? Sign up to the Joy Sports Invitational 2024. It is happening on October 26th. Now, let's talk swimming. Ghana hosted a 3-day aquatic swimming championship at the Boteman Sports Complex. Well, the country won over 50 medals, and Giselle Mensah won 7 medals for Ghana. My colleague Haruna Mubarak was there and has been speaking to him, as well as the president of Ghana's Swimming Association, Madam Delphina.
I mean, I portray every competitor as just any competitor, so I don't really distinguish between what I've done and what they've done, because everyone is capable the same way, so.
You won about 7 or 8 medals, something you expected you foresaw?
No, not really, so it was a positive surprise, yes. Just like African Games and representing the country, having just amazing teammates, a lot of new faces this time, it's truly amazing. Honestly, I didn't really know what will happen. I took some time off since Paris, so I wasn't really sure where I'm at. But I always just try my best. I always put 100%, and that's the result I got.
How has been the way everything has panned out so far?
So far, so good. Everything has gone excellently well.
Now, looking at the kind of facility we have here at the Boteman, does it mean Ghana would be hosting more competitions in the future?
We want to make Ghana the hub of Africa swimming. So we're starting from Zone 2. We are hoping after this, if we are able to maintain this place well, more competitions will come our way.
And you're confident that it will be in good shape for those?
Oh, sure, definitely.
Regarding the performance of our swimmers, what do you make of it? We've won so many medals.
Exceptional. They've done wonderfully. Fantabulous. I'm so proud of them.
Is it something you expected?
Yes, I did expect it.
A very happy birthday to the lead camera technician here at the Multimedia Group, Joseph Saki. Everyone at Joy Sports wishes you well, and we say thank you for continuing to be a partner of our content creation here at Joy Sports, and also to the programs manager of Asempa, Philip Osebon. So a happy birthday to you as well. You head on to myjoyonline.com and read some more sports stories, but the AM show continues right after this.
Santani and Idrisu Abubakari Zakari from Wala in the northern region have experienced extreme weather conditions, with Abdallah facing devastating floods and Idrisu struggling with prolonged drought.
As we see in our area, there is a drought because many farmers, our main business is farming.
The only livelihood that we depend on is the farming. And during flooding, all our farm products will be washed away and the farmers and the community members will be suffering.
Abdallah describes the impact as great and unimaginable.
They also suffer to get to hospitals. And at this time, when it is flooding, the whole community will be suffering. No access road that will lead us to the markets where we can sell the remaining farm products that we have. During the flooding hour, the whole community, the whole electoral area will submerge in water, especially during the opening of Bagri Dam. The people there is in hell. I'm telling you, they are in hell. We are not part of Ghanaians.
Mamudu Akudugu is my name. 2016 National Best Farmer, first runner-up.
In September and October 2020, floods destroyed his 500 acres of maize and rice field in the Upper East region.
This is my farmland, a little over 500 acres of land that I cultivated maize and rice. The maize were 320 acres. The rice was around 180. We also have mango plantation, as you can see. We lost everything through the floods.
Ariku Martin Akudugu was left devastated at home, wondering how to start all over again. The flood was caused by the Bagri Dam spillage in Burkina Faso and the heavy downpour experienced between September and October 2020.
In fact, the amount of money I invested in this was almost about 450,000 Ghana cedis. And what I was expecting to harvest at the end of the cropping season was around 3,600 bags of maize and 3,200 bags of rice. That would have been what I was expecting to harvest at the end of the season. But the amount of money I would have at least as income would have been somewhere around 2.6 million Ghana cedis per the investment I made.
So this is the 3 PhD students from the Department of Meteorology and Climate Science at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Samuel Owusu and Sir Joshua Asamoah and Alfred Ewua are researching on floods, drought and their impact on livelihoods on rest.
October 8, 2024, the government team met with the leadership of Organized Labour and Ghana Employers Association. Following this meeting, government offered enhanced and time-bound measures in respect of our demands and the fight against illegal mining. Organized Labour has therefore decided to suspend the internal strike action. We are calling all workers to report for work on 10th of October 2024 and beyond.
As we speak, we are left with 2 months into December elections. By the time the state will go through the processes of declaring a state of emergency, we may have gotten closer to elections. And when the state of emergency is declared also around that time, it is going to even affect the 7th December elections. You don't know the areas in this country where the state of emergency will be declared.
But you knew this before you made a call?
Yeah, we knew this before we made the call because we wanted to achieve certain things. The major thing we want to achieve was the revocation of the LI that allow mining in our forest reserve, and we have achieved just
clearly no deadlines. Some of us were even we even wanted to be given the opportunity to say that, well, if this is the route to go, then let us even subject government to strict deadlines. They said they will not let us talk.
Does that suggest that even in the meeting you were not allowed to bring?
In the meeting we were not. I mean, I made my first point. Others, a few people spoke, and if you are speaking, then the chairman gets up and say he doesn't want you to talk. And so, if you want to make further suggestions, we didn't finish the meeting, and they call you guys to be to join the meeting. You do not call a meeting and then go with a prepared speech. Otherwise, no, prepared speech that are conclusive. No, the speech has its own conclusion. We had not spoken. We had not discussed. And then you came, and then when we had not even discussed it, so we are calling off the strike. On what basis? What was the basis? It means you sat in the comfort of your bedroom with the politician who manipulated you to come and read this to us. I mean, they have people they can manipulate, but not some of us.
Welcome back. It's time for the big stories here. Industrial action or not, the University Teachers Association has declared an indefinite strike from today, the 10th of October 2024, across all 15 member branches after an emergency meeting triggered by a U-turn from organized labor to suspend the much-anticipated nationwide shutdown against the Galamsey menace. That was set to take effect from today for the reason that the government had enhanced measures to deal with illegal mining, a position UTAG is vehemently opposed to. So where does all of this leave us? Where does it leave government in the fight against Galamsey? Where does it leave the rest of us in dealing with this canker? Well, joining the conversation, we have Professor Mamudu Akudugu. He is National President of the University Teachers Association of Ghana. They are embarking on their industrial action from today. We also have Professor Kwesi Enning, a security analyst, joining the conversation. Prof and Prof, gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Yeah, Prof. Enning.
It's a pleasure having you join the conversation. Let's start with you, Professor Enning, in terms of what has happened so far and your reaction. Any disappointments, any surprises in the position of organized labor? Yesterday, we were talking about rumors that money had exchanged hands. Your take, your initial thoughts?
Well, I think yesterday when we spoke, I indicated to you that nothing was going to happen, that it's not for ordinary citizens to push government to declare a state of emergency. And actually the routine procedure is that governments, responsible governments, declare a state of emergency because a series of activities or incidences begin to pose an existential threat to the state that needs extraordinary measures. And that I have not seen anything to demonstrate to me that there was a certain willingness, desire, to tackle this environmental catastrophe that we are seeing. But also already by yesterday, there were indications that the front of organized labor was beginning to splinter. You know, so today, and let me doff off my hat to Professor Akudugu and Jampo and Co. for doing what is ethically and morally right. Today is an ignominious day in the history of organized labor in this country.
You say today is an ignominious day in the history of organized labor. Will you take organized labor seriously henceforth?
No, they are not worth the paper on which their names are written.
Organized labor is not worth the paper on which its name is written.
Yes.
Aren't those two strong words?
Well, when you deceive a nation, when you don't think through your negotiation position with government, and you create an impression that you are working on principles that seek to prevent a major environmental catastrophe that is looming, and you use the most infantile of excuses to pull the rug from under your own members. And from what Professor Akudugu and his people are saying, that there was almost no consultation. So there are no words strong enough to describe this letdown, this disgrace. But I think it fits into a pattern that has been happening for quite some time. It's most unfortunate. And how they think they can win back the trust, and more importantly, the respect of the people that they have let down so disastrously, we shall wait to see.
Thanks for making those initial points. Let me go to Professor Akudugu. Are you disappointed, for starters, by the position of the rest of organized labor? You in UTAG are starting your strike indefinitely from today. Are you disappointed that it has come to this? Hello, Professor Akudugu, if you can hear me, sir. That question was for you.
Sorry. Yes. I think let me at least thank our senior Professor Eni for the kind words. For disappointment, I think every Ghanaian is disappointed, and UTAG also rightly so. But of course, the truth is that we already knew that this may happen, and so we stayed close and glued to our internal processes, and ensure that we are not swindled in any way. And so we may be disappointed, but we are not surprised, though, because the signs were there for those who were critical to see it. And as university lecturers and academics, ours is, piecing, actions and activities here and there and making sense out of it. And so all the actions, we have been, putting the pieces together and making sense out of it and deciding which is the best way to go. And I think we have been successful in doing that. And definitely, we are in this, and we know the implications of what it is, and we know what we want, and we'll pursue it to a logical conclusion as long as the members of the academic community who are across the 15 public universities that constitute the University Teachers Association of Ghana majority of who continue to say that we should proceed on this action. We are duty bound to show leadership and to make sure that we follow through whatever their demands are.
You say you are disappointed but not surprised. Why were you not surprised?
You see, when as I said, the signs were very clear from the beginning. We have participated in meetings, and we know what happens. We know how, for example, in this fight, right, transparency is very important. And once there is a sign of lack of transparency anywhere, it's going to crumble. For example, whatever that I say to you now, you call any member of the National Executive Committee of UTAG, they will tell you the same thing. Call any member of the National Executive Council. There are about 78 members of National Executive Council of UTAG. Call any member and they'll tell you the same thing because there's nothing to hide. But when you have a situation where, there is that kind of situation where only a select you have some information and then they come and tell you what all that. It doesn't engender trust. And that definitely, we saw it coming. And so that is why UTAG decided to continue with its original plan, because we issued our statement on the 9th of September, before organized labor DPS on the 11th, which aligned with our initial or our pressure and our demands. And we decided to just go along with organized labor. But we still have to do that within the context of our own rules and regulations that govern our operations. And so, again, as to whether we are disappointed as you are asking, and yes, every Ghanaian is disappointed as our actions, but surprised we are not.
Surprised you're not. Which leads to my next question. You and UTAG are sticking to your guns, but was there any influence from any quarters in this process? Was there any influence from anywhere?
Now, let me use this opportunity to tell the politicians and those who want to rule Ghana that we see it as a very insult, and we take an exception to what those party soldiers are doing, and that UTAG can never be influenced by anybody. And we believe in fairness, we believe in rule of law, we believe in following due process. How are you going to influence the over 2,000 members across the campuses who voted yes for the strike? How are you going to do it? So if any other group can be influenced by our process, and we know, and that is why we made our constitution the way it is, so that not a few group of people can speak of the situation and do anything and hold any government to ransom or anything. That is why we insist that it is members who must vote to decide, and those members cut across the political divide. And so for anybody to even conceive and think that there can be political influence, we are doing the building of a political party, it is a very big insult to the intellectual community of the country, and we take an exception to that. And they should stop it.
Okay, so you are saying that you were not under any influence, that no group of people, no political grouping can influence you. But how about the other side? How about those who now have decided we will not lay down our tools? In fact, there have been accusations and counter-accusations, claims and counterclaims. Have you heard of anything about whether, as some people from the grapevine are saying, that some people received certain packages and that is why they led their teams out of this? What is your reaction to that?
As an academic, I believe in evidence. I do not have any evidence to support that anybody has been given any package. And so I would not want to get into somebody in a package to act in a certain way or not. What we know is that UTAG made some demands. We have tried our best to ensure that we give government the opportunity to act. That never came. And we proceed as such. And we have not been influenced. Nobody has contacted us to influence us in any way. And we are proceeding on that line. Anybody who is alleged to have been compromised or given whatever goodies and the rest of it, well, it's to them and their God and their conscience. Because at this point, it's all about that. And the question is, what do I tell my students when I go and stand before them to talk about environmental sustainability and how to promote environmental sustainability? What am I going to tell them? With what is happening, that with all that knowledge and what have you, I'll come and tell you, one day laugh at me. When you enter University of, go to, what do you call it? University of Science and Technology, or go to Yuma, University of Mines and Technology, and you are talking about sustainable mining. All those things. What you are telling your students what? When you have this level of devastation, this havoc, this genocide that is going on, and then you say you want to go and teach sustainability, you want to go and take responsible mining and all that. My brother, they should give us some respect. Those politicians who think that they can make political capital out of it. They can tell with any other, but for you to stay up, to stay clear. Otherwise, we will not have it.
I get it. It makes nonsense of all of these things you may be teaching because they are not even applicable in the environment we have. But just quickly before I move back to Professor Inning, you call it genocide. Some people have called it ecocide, ecological genocide. You are not satisfied with government's actions, and that's why you are embarking on this. But how long will this go? It's an indefinite strike. Do you have any timelines in mind, though it is indefinite? And is it because you were not satisfied with the points made by government that you still had to go on the strike?
Yes, we are not satisfied. For example, let me ask the question of, you are sending the security people to the field. What is their marching order? What are they supposed to do? If they should go and then when they see people mining, they have to go and ask them, do you have a license to mine? If you produce a license, continue. If you don't, they will sack you. What is it? How are they going to operationalize whatever they are going to do on the field? How effective will that be? So we're simply saying that there is a ban. I mean, we're not asking for forever ban. We're asking for temporary ban. Put a temporary ban on all forms of mining in forest reserves, in water bodies, and on farmland.
Right.
So that if the security, when they get there, they don't need to be asking who is doing what and who is doing. Look, you are not even supposed to be there. Then let's get back on the table, do a broad stakeholder engagement from the community up, from bottom up, to determine how we can ensure sustainable and responsible mining. And it's even possible, okay, if you say you are doing legal mining, we should be able to know whether you are doing responsible legal mining. If you are doing responsible legal mining, then we can let you go back. After we have sat down and we have defined the parameters and the performance indicators and all that. How difficult is it?
Okay. And I get your point. But so far, you can't give us any timelines, right?
We cannot give timelines because the timeline depends on what government does. I mean, if government today gets and says, look, we are putting a ban on mining in these areas, the next moment we will call off the strike. That one, I can assure you, within minutes, we can organize and council meeting and we decide. Look, at the end of the day, what do we want? We want real action. We want something that is practicable and implementable. We don't want, we teach theory, and we teach practice, and we teach implementation science. We know when you say you are going to do this, we know that in implementation it cannot work. We know. And so all that have been indicated in terms of deployment of the research, operationally, it is not going to be effective.
All right.
So if we are sure that whatever that you are saying with this action, there will be operational efficiency and effectiveness, what do we want to... Look, we are not happy going on strike. There's to know that some of us are also parents. We have our children in the schools.
Okay.
We are not happy. Nobody is interested in going on strike. Because we want to work, and we want to build the next generation of responsible citizens for the country. And we cannot go and be teaching environmental sustainability and sustainable money and those things when this is happening and we are sitting in the classroom and talking about theory.
Okay. Prof, we're very grateful for adding your voice to this conversation, and we wish you the very best. Professor Mamudu Akudugu is National President of the University Teachers Association of Ghana. Let me go back to Professor Enning. My apologies for staying away from you for a while, but we had to let them situate the conversation in their context. So they have embarked on an indefinite strike. Catholics tomorrow are joining forces in the Archdiocese and beyond in a prayer protest walk, starting from the Holy Spirit Cathedral to the Jubilee House and then Christ the King Church. Grassad is joining that protest. You have other groups, the Pentecostals, also joining. Where does this leave us in the fight against Galamsey and the actions enumerated by government? Do they spell any positive note in terms of the fight against Galamsey, Prof? Professor Enning. Hello, Prof. Can you hear me? You may have to unmute. Professor Enning, if you can hear me, I'm trying for the last time to get your thoughts.
Hello?
Yes, Prof.
Good. So let me start with the government side. There is nothing new there, and I think it is part of the tactic to delay without any specific set of intervention to pull us back. In terms of the Legislative Front organized labor, I think those groups that are going ahead to demonstrate their concerns must be supported. And I think it's critical that that pressure is sustained. Because what we are seeing needs change. It needs pressure on the government. And I'm very confident that our government not doing anything now in December, and certainly until July. Because you can see the way that those who are engaged themselves are becoming politically active and supporting different parties or different activities in this election. Now, political choices are made based on those who support particular people. And most have made the point that what citizens are concerned about is none of their business. They are targeting those who make policy, who ensure that and will protect it. Or so the actual life are there. On the one side, the 30% Ghanaians who are beginning the second part, the responsible man, and I'm the word for and the few people that is national part, some of them organized now, who are looking at the ability of the people, not emphasize, genocide, or the expression that is for sure. So between now and the end of the year, we will see at least of the
I am losing a lot of what you're saying, but I want clarity on what you were just saying. Between now and the end of the year, what? I wish I could hear you better there.
Well, there's going to be a lot of demand of government. There'll be an estimation of demand to that.
Unfortunately, I still can't hear you. There's going to be a lot of...
Hello?
Yes, it's better now. I just want to catch what you're saying. There's going to be a lot of what?
there's going to be a lot of pressure, sustained pressure on government.
Okay.
To do something about this mining, because the effects are going to continue to grow. People will feel the negative impact, and the demand will simply be there. The difficulty for most people is that government has not been to the obedience. Oh, we are going to report it more. Even when organized people using the licenses were being so subtract this effect.
Okay.
Are important in this practice. It's very often. It's really very often. But it's not going to improve.
Okay. Prof, we're immensely grateful. We know you're on the move, but we're grateful that you took the time to speak to us. He says, though, there's going to be sustained pressure on government all the way to the end of the year. Well, that is Professor Kwesi Enning, a security analyst. Let me bring in Senyo Hosi. Senyo is one of those leading the Red Band protest against Galamsey, a campaign by the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey. Mr. Hosi, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you all for the good work you're doing in this fight to save our nation and to restore our environment.
Let's talk about your reaction, Senyo, to how things have panned out. Of course, the accusations have come through about who took what or who did what. But looking at where we are and the backtracking of organized labor, though you have UTAG continuing with this effort, where does that leave the fight against Galamsey and the pressure on government?
The call on all of us is an individual call as citizens, not as an organized labor or not. We've always had the support of labor from time to time over issues of national concern. It's unfortunate that they don't seem as organized as they should be at this time. But I don't think it's a material matter. Our environment is not being destroyed for the good or bad of one particular group of people. It's being destroyed for all of us. The call on us to defend the good name of Ghana and to defend our country is a call on every citizen, as you foremostly as a Ghanaian, not you as a member of a TUC or something of that sort, not at all. So I doff my hat to the Ghanaians at UTAG who are sustaining the conscience of us as a country. We are here to let you know that everyone can do something about it. And that needs us to partake in this protest. We will not get the Ghana that we want if we do not fight for it. What is at play, it's not something that just easily meets the eye. There's so much interest you have to fight against, including interests that run our country. My fellow citizens, it's not time to sit at home and sleep and talk and gossip. It's time for us to stand for our country, for the future of our children. The least we can do is to partake in this Red Band protest. Every single board person from Sunday to Saturday should flag something that's red in protest. On Fridays, we are calling on every Ghanaian to wear red. We are restoring the Red Friday campaign. We have to send a signal to the political and policy elite that the actions that are needed to sustain the future of our children are actions that are needed now, and they must advocate and be seen to be acting. They must do it and act appropriately. We made clear demands together with the coalition, the media coalition against Galamsey, who are members of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey. Their advocacy was very clear. Please, one, get this state of emergency up and running. We've not had the cooperation from government. There's some effort saying that I will do this, I will do that, I will do that. We are dealing with politicians whose plans have been far advanced and have been in pipelines in like only God knows how long. The future of our children is now. The water we drink is now. Even the Belacqua or the Awake or whichever bottled water that you are drinking today, you can't even trust what you are drinking. Look at the water bodies. Look at what you are displaying on the screen. Look at our forest reserve. Look at how it's being depleted recklessly and irresponsibly. We must define Galamsey properly. Galamsey is not just illegal mining. It's illegal and irresponsible mining. If people have taken licenses fraudulently or unconscionably in places and they say they have licenses to operate and this is destroying our environment, it is still Galamsey. The steps that are supposed to be taken are known. You don't even need, government did not need any of us to start advocating for them to start acting right. Sending this instruction from the state is taking us nowhere. So till we see real action on the ground, we see our water bodies transforming, we see the chamfans being burnt, we see government arresting all those political elites, both in the MPP and in the NDC. We are not stopping our protest. And this is just phase 1. We are going to scale this up. I don't think Nanado wants this to be his legacy. He should get it very, very clear. Nana, you are living, you came with Calipo. When you were coming, you were drinking Calipo and we're voting for you. Bring Calipo. We'll be sacking you with brown water. Because that is the future you want for my children. It's wickedness. So every single person who is a Ghanaian, it is time for you to partake in this protest. It is not a political action. We are not interested in MPP or NDC. It will not take us anywhere. Both parties are culpable in this matter. You don't see strong advocacy from either of the parties. We are on our own and we must fight for our future and the future of our children. Partake in the red band. Start today. Wear something red. Get a red band. Tie it on your car. Take a red band, a red hat. Wear it on Sunday. Please, everybody who can wear a red dress. We want to call on the churches. Call on the Islamic society. Please, on Fridays, on everybody's religious days, commission your church members to wear red. The politicians should see that we are having enough of this governance abuse. Because what is at stake? While they make money in their pockets, they have their own political apparatchiks and friends and business friends proceed and they progress in their pockets. What is happening is a retrogression of our future and our children's future. This is time to fight for Ghana. So everybody, even if you're a company, you're a businessman, encourage your staff to wear red on Fridays. If you're a pastor, get your members to wear red to church on Sunday, the coming Sunday. Let us all partake in this and send the message clear that we have had enough. Can you imagine while we are advocating here, we have ministers like Mamudu Akudugu who we use our taxpayers' money to pay, advocating, counter-advocacy against Galamsey, in favor of Galamsey. So we continue to degrade our forests as well as destroy our water bodies.
But Senor, what you just said, do you have evidence of that?
You've heard his speeches. What is this minus advocacy? You've heard it. Trying to suggest that people are sitting in Accra and trying to create this as an elitist, a class war. This is not a class war. The people sitting in the Galamsey areas who are also making money of it, they should check their own water. They should check their own water. I'm a farmer. I know the implications of what is happening. I know how peasant farmers are suffering. So please, it's not time for us to make this a class society war where we are trying to pitch people in Galamsey sites against people in Accra. As he keeps saying, let's all stop this thing. Let's all stop this thing. What is at stake here is Ghana. Nothing else. What is at stake here is Ghana. I'll tell you a story so you know. I had a conversation with somebody in the Galamsey area. And you know what they think? They think that life is not even advancing for them. Do you know why he thinks life is advancing for him? Because now he can buy bottled water and he doesn't need to go and drink water from the river. You see how warped our thinking is? That today he can buy bottled water coming from Accra. So it is life as not other than taking water from his river. And talking so other than he telling us he's processing water from his river. So he doesn't care.
Right.
Because as far as he's concerned, his life has now become like the Accra people.
Well,
this is the kind of communication is going body.
Speaking of water,
let us all fight for Ghana now.
Speaking of water, before I let go of you, you know the lands minister, he drinks tap water every day. So
please, I beg you, that is a lie. Nobody should tell me that. I visit all these politicians. I know the kind of water they drink. Please, they shouldn't tell us that story. What tap water?
But why? Are you there with him when he drinks?
They should all stop lying. They are lying. I'm telling you, they are lying. Whether left or right, all of them, I visit them. They drink bottled water. Some of them drink Voss. Do you know Voss? It's imported bottled water.
I know Voss. Yes, I do.
Please, please stop. I don't want to get angry this morning. I'm having a rough day enough. I won't add this one to my problems, please.
Senor Hosi, thank you.
Don't come and lie to the people of Ghana.
So this is a peaceful, indefinite protest, and it's indefinite for you. You are calling on all Ghanaians to join this. Is there going to come a point where you also want to pour out on the streets, or what exactly? Just a final bit.
It is a phased engagement. We'll reach there. And if they want to see 1 million boots on ground, they will see it. If they want us to overwhelm Jubilee House, they will see it. That is not what we are asking for. We are asking everybody to be reasonable, to be fair to the present and to the future. What is at stake here is the future of Ghana. I think Nana wants to leave a better legacy. It should be the president that started turning around this before he left. He put aside any kind of political pressure and just focused on Ghana for one of the few times in his life. Like I said, Nanado doesn't want to come with Calipo and leave with brown water. And that is what he's doing right now. And I don't think that's what he deserves. He wants to have a better legacy. It should show us that he's with us at this moment. And he's going to set right the tone on how to address this very sensitive matter. It's politically dicey. We respect that. But that is not what's going to turn things around. We are not here for politics. We are here for the sustenance of our children and our children's children. If we do not fight for Ghana, who will? If we do not fight for the Ghana we want, we will never have it. It's time for everybody to rise up and start fighting for Ghana. I call on Baumia, I call on Mahama. All of you, join the Red Band movement and talk to your appointees to stop spilling irresponsible speak about this matter. It's time for us to restore our water bodies, save our environment, so there's a Ghana that our children can grow up in.
My very final bit to you, since you are this vocal and you want to make a point with people even putting on clothes, red headbands, red armbands, and the rest, there are some protest walks that have been organized. Tomorrow, the Catholics are starting from the Holy Spirit Cathedral at 10 a.m. They will end at the Jubilee House around 2 p.m. and then end it all right opposite at Christ the King. We are calling this.
I encourage anybody who can make the time. You don't need to be Catholic because the environment that is being destroyed is not Catholic.
Right.
Everybody should join them if you can. All right. But at a minimum, participate in the Red Band protest for now. Would advise on a weekly basis what the next steps are. Change your DP, put it up red. Our flyer on the Red Band is available. You can go to my status if you have my WhatsApp contact. You can go to my Twitter feed, you find it. Joy FM, I'm sure you've also put something up already. Take it and use it as your DP. Let policy makers, let security operators, let the judges wake up every morning and realize how sensitive this matter is to you. They are here to represent and advocate for that which is good for us as Ghanaians, not as politicians. Let us let them know where we stand on this matter. Don't sit in your rooms and speak and be putting up fun videos and fun photos. Please, at a minimum, let everybody know where you stand. Change your DP. So, Akapo, this is your dress, you have to fix it. This yellow is taking me nowhere. It even reminds me of Galamsey. So please try and get something red next time. The next time I speak to you. Because I believe you really support this cause. Thank you.
I really do, and I will be joining the rest of my Catholic brothers and sisters tomorrow. Thank you very much, Senor Hosi.
I'll be joining you too.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you there. Senor Hosi is one of the leaders spearheading the Red Band protest against Galamsey. Let us bring in Daryl Bosu. He is with Arusha, Ghana. And you must give credit to Arusha, Ghana. They've been talking about the environmental destruction for a long time. Now, things have come to a head. Daryl, good morning. Can you hear me, Daryl Bosu? If you can hear me, please unmute, Daryl Bosu. Daryl, if you can hear me, please indicate you can hear me.
I can hear you, Benjamin. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Let's start with where we are now. The state of our environment, the collapse of organized labor, at least taking out UTAG, and everything else that has happened. The purported enhanced measures that government is taking. How do you feel about all of these developments?
Thank you, Benjamin. I think we need to understand the kind of support organized labor has brought to this campaign. I think they're giving us sufficient leverage. We've been able to harness the leverage of organized labor to get government to take certain actions. Not everything has been met, not all our demands have been met, but for us, we think it's very progressive, and we don't have to see it as a dent in the campaign. What I see is a big opportunity. Now government has made some commitment. It's time now for us to demand some clear timelines and indicators. Because what government has said so far is for us unclear, apart from making a statement that we'll be doing something, we'll be deploying the military, as to when they are going to do it, how they are going to do it, the timeline for the action, and when it will cease and all of that. Nothing has been communicated. But so now we have the leverage. It's time for us to take it to the next step. And so for us, I think it's a very progressive action, and we are happy that organized labor has given the support. And we know that they are not going to rest. We are going to keep monitoring together. And eventually we are going to bring in a bigger push after this.
Now, where do we go from here? The military is being deployed. The Lands and Natural Resources Minister says there will be river guards. Even the Navy will be on hand. We do know that in the past, some of these same officers have been compromised. Some people are asking, Operation Halt what? We have done this before. It didn't get anywhere. Do you think this will solve, this renewed interest will solve the problem?
Benjamin, I think you've asked very good questions, and it's right that you are cautious, and we are also very cautious about the current actions. What is important is the fact that we as citizens monitor what government has committed to do. At the moment, I mean, deploying these men on the ground, I think that's why we're also asking to really be in the process, be very transparent about even the actions on the ground. We don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past. So the caution is well placed, and we also agree with you. We want regular updates. We want to be at the table. We want to know who is doing what. We don't want to leave this to just the politicians taking action. We want some neutral citizens bodies to really watch and follow and ensure that the right things are being done. It is important, again, I say that we cannot repeat the mistakes of the past. Otherwise, this is just going to be a futile exercise. So yes, we need to monitor. It's good they are deploying. That's a good start anyway. But let's make sure that it is sustained, it is efficient, and it's effective. And this is the only way we are going to deal with it. So we are going to keep watching, we are going to keep monitoring, and we are going to demand accountability for every team that is going to be deployed on the field.
What other matters what other actions do you want to see in the coming days, in the coming weeks, in terms of piling pressure on government to do the right thing?
Yeah, I'm sure Senor has already said it. We, the citizens, are going to continue the pressure. I mean, the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, we are going to be monitoring from behind the scenes, and we're also going to ask citizens to rally behind us. The Red Band protest is on. You should support us. But again, I think what we are going to do, we are going to be getting back to government to understand some of the clear timeline for the actions being determined. We know we have a clear timeline for the revocation of LI 2462, but we need to understand when the military or whatever team is put in place are going to raid our forest reserves and our rivers of any mining activity. We need to have some clear timeline. So I think behind the scenes, a lot of work is going to go on. We are going to keep engaging with organized labor. This is not the end. This is actually the beginning of the leverage they've given. We are going to push harder. Several other professional bodies are going to pitch in. And this is where we are going to focus our energies and also strengthen the campaign. So I think it's just for us a beginning. And as we go on, more information will be given out to the public.
Darrell, we're grateful for your time with us this morning. Aluta continua. The fight continues. That is Darrell Bosu, Deputy Director at Arusha, Ghana. So this morning has been quite a conversation. We had Professor Mamudu Akudugu joining the conversation, UTAG National President. We also had joining the conversation Professor Kwesi Enning. We've just interacted with Darrell Bosu, and we had Senyor Hosi as well, leading that campaign, Don Something Red, show your angst against this fight. But stay with us. When we return, there will be a lot more action as we talk about our latest installment of the Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair. We'll be back. This is the AM show. Welcome back. But Ghana, get ready for the biggest giveaway from Syntex Tank. Yeah, you heard me right. Syntex is visiting 15 communities. That's like 555, giving them free water. Now, this is from Syntex to say thank you, Ghana, for making us #1. Syntex was the first to introduce double-layer tanks in Ghana. But did you also know that Syntex tanks came in so many colors and was the first to come out with inner white layers? Did you know that? So, if it's not Syntex, you might as well forget about it. Now, if you're a community and you want to benefit from the Syntex free water giveaway, just log on to their social media handles, that is at Syntex Ghana, one word, and nominate your community. Guess what? The more you nominate, the better the chances of Syntex coming to that community. Just remember, it is SINTEX, Syntex Tank. Note, not be any tank be tanko. The correct tank be Syntex Tank. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough. And I might as well add, because quality radio or TV is good for your health. Oh, you didn't know that? Welcome aboard, Ghana. Your favorite radio stations are back on TuneIn, Joy FM, Love FM, Adom FM, Asempa FM, and Intro FM. All your beloved multimedia group brands are now back on TuneIn. Wherever you are, we've got you covered. Yes, Joy FM, Love FM, Adom FM, Asempa FM, and Intro FM are back on TuneIn. So tune in to the best of news, music, sports, and entertainment from Ghana's top stations. Anytime, anywhere, on TuneIn. Go to the App Store or Google Play Store to download TuneIn and listen to Joy FM, Love FM, Adom FM, Asempa FM, or Intro FM to stay connected and entertained. But I'll tell you about something else that will get you locked on, something that you cannot miss. What do you do to minimize cost, ensure quality, safety, and a picturesque internal decor for that house of yours? We'll tell you all what you want to know about this with our guests as we build up to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair coming off at the Accra International Conference Center. It's slated for the 30th day of October to the 2nd of November 2024. And my guests join me in the studio. I start with Lilia Hajama Nafra. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Go me, go me.
Yes, you did.
And she is with Lesh Fortune. And there's also Isaac Asari, who is with the Builders Market. Lady, gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
I like your shirt, not just because of the style, the cut, but also because, in a way, it reflects Pink October. Maybe you didn't think of that before.
I did it. I did not.
But it's working both ways for you this morning. Let's start by the focus is the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. But just tell us a bit about Lesh Fortune and the Builders Market and what you do before we... So I'll start with you, Lilia.
Okay, so it's good to be here this morning.
It's good to have you.
Yes, good morning to our cherished viewers. Lesh Fortune Limited is an interior design company. We furnish homes and offices. We are the best in town. And when you invite us into your space, you would come back and you are wowed. Mm. We have a stock of beautiful fabrics, curtain fabrics, upholstery, walls. We have a variety of carpets. That's what Ghanaians will say, wall-to-wall carpets. We do bespoke furniture, and so we come into your space and we do tailored-made furniture for you. So we can even do a bed that's like 1 meter by 1 meter, if that's what you want.
Wow.
It's tailored, it's customized for your space. So
if you want a bed that is from this tip to that tip, yes, you'll get it.
Yes. Unfortunately, we have partnered with some people who would make mattresses that will suit whatever size bed we have done. We come into your space and we do furniture style that fits the space. And so whatever you want when you come to Lesh Fortune Limited, we will get it done for
you. If you feel you want 50 people to lie on a bed and you want a bed that is 1 mile, Less Fortune will get it done.
Yes, we'll get it done for you.
I see. Interesting stuff.
Yes.
I'll come back to you.
Yes. Just mindful that you're going to use it for lawful things.
Just mindful that you're going to use it for lawful things. Okay, we'll leave that to the buyers. We'll leave that to those who place such customized orders. Let me come to you, Isaac, and you're also with the builders market. What do you do?
We supply anything you find in the bathroom.
Anything in the bathroom?
Yes.
From faucets
from
to...
the faucets to the bathtubs to the WC to the fittings and accessories that comes with it. That's what we do.
Everything in there?
Everything.
Does that include tiling and other things if people want those?
Unfortunately, we don't do tiling. Unfortunately, that's the only thing we don't. That's the only thing we don't.
So maybe this is me speaking for some people and saying that,
oh, right, fine. But if it needs to do with tiling, then we will also be able to help you with the right people.
Okay, so you will just subcontract, ensure that even as you do your work, the tiling and everything will also match what is being done.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the Habitat Fair, the latest installment, the grand, one that is coming off between the 30th of this month and the 2nd of November at the Accra International Conference Center. I know some of you have been along this journey for a while now. Less Fortune, I have followed you and all of that. Why is it that year after year you keep coming back? What draws you in?
It is what we gain coming on board.
Right.
Joy FM and Joy TV, your platforms have, your listeners and viewers are discerning, and that's a kind of target we work with. Nobody would come and ask for interior decor services except that they discern, except that they are people who are careful about how they live. And so coming on board this Habitat Fair over the years has been very fantastic. We've been able to reach that kind of market. And it's just nice to work with people who understand, who know what they want. And these are people that we target. And so partnering with Joy FM has been fantastic. I'm just recovering from the excitement from Kumasi.
Oh, wow. Yes. And now you're catching up with the excitement to come in Accra.
In Accra, I can't wait.
You know, Accra, Kumasi, almost style, but we for here, we know they play. We know they play Accra.
Oh, Charlie, they to them day.
Oh, yeah, them day. Kumasi, they Charlie. On better levels, but Accra too, we never they carry. We never they carry. So interesting times ahead. For you, Isaac, what are you looking forward to coming on board this time?
We've been, let me refresh your memory a little bit. We've been with the Habitat Fair for some time.
Right.
And we broke because we were having challenges after COVID.
Right.
So there were challenges with supply chain. And after the recovery, the bathroom itself gets evolving each and every year. Every 5 years, the bathroom keeps evolving. Now, we have products which are not on the market, which we will want to introduce on the market. Now, remember...
In other words, these are products that you will not find anywhere?
No. I've been, since we brought them in, I've been around, I've gone around, because, for instance, all the range of WCs that we have come rimless.
Rimless?
Yes, all the range. They come in rimless.
I see.
Yes, and you find the rim all around, So, and some other products as well, So we want the market to know what we can offer, what we do, and what we do best. I've been in this business for almost about 30-something years, so I know what I'm talking about.
And definitely, when you have someone who's been in the business for over a quarter of a century, you know that they are not here to play. But just a bit of curiosity about your rimless water closets.
Yes.
What is the catch? Why rimless?
Right, okay. The bathroom is a place where it generates bacteria and other viruses. So you need to have a product that you'll be able to wash down those bacteria. Now, the very place that you find bacteria hiding in the bathroom is the WC. Now you find it under the rim because you don't see them, and because the washing brush, the cleaning brush is not able to reach there.
Yeah.
Yes, so you need the rimless to enable you be able to clean it properly. Now again, with the kind of product that we have what we call the 3M glazing.
Okay.
Yes. And with the glazing, you see, first let me go back a bit. 3 things to enable you be able to buy a ceramic product for your bathroom. You need to get the ceramic, how it was prepared, and again, you need to know how the glazing went about. Because these days you go around homes and you find water stains in the basins, in the WCs, and which shouldn't be.
Right.
Which shouldn't be. You know. So the glazing itself is another thing, so that even when there is dirt, when you flush, it will drop them, you know, instead of sticking on the glaze.
I see. Interesting. Let me come to you, Lilia, as we talk about this latest installment, which you're so excited about. I'll just give you a little bit to talk about your range of products that you are going to be showcasing, because that is what people are going to come and see at the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Let's get into that. Let's dig into those.
So we last year introduced into the market prefabricated homes.
Prefabricated homes?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, steel homes, galvanized steel homes. So we prepare them. All the customer needs to do is have his or her piece of land, do the foundation, then give us their building plan. We'll use that to generate their cost. Then we would prefabricate all the members, the columns, the beams, roofing, then we put it on. So
you get there and assemble?
And assemble them. And so in the matter of 90 days, you could have your home done.
90 days?
Yes, 90 days.
That's like 3 months?
Yes.
Home, jeje?
Yes, jeje. And mind you, once you come, we build this house, we'll furnish it for you. So quality, details for everything is done. And so when they come to the fair, they're coming to see the prefabricated homes. Like, you know, we'll talk about it. They can ask all the questions that bother them. They will see beautifully made curtains. They will see how we make our beds, our furniture. Because this time we have a lot more space. So we're going to showcase a bedroom, how a bedroom is supposed to be done. The next day we'll probably have a living room, we'll have a dining area. So we're going to, you know, let people see how these things are supposed to be done in our homes. You would come and see our motorized curtain rails. You know,
motorized curtain wheels.
Rails, yes.
Okay.
So
now everything is electronic.
Yes, it's electronic. You just press and it opens and you have the sunlight coming in. You can press and it closes, it draws back closed, you're comfortable. You would see our very durable blinds. You would see walls. You see many curtains accessories, tie back hooks, tapes, bedspreads, bed sheets, napkins, kitchen napkins, and things like that. And, you know, will be available. Anything, any advice or consultancy you need for your home space or your office space will be there to give it out, and that will be for free. We will not charge you for that.
That is for free?
Just because you came to the fair. Just because you came to the Habitat Fair, we would consult for you for free. So come with your list of questions. We don't mind at all. We would consult for you for free. Besides the discounts we'll be offering, our consultation at the fair is going to be free of charge.
So this one, if people don't come to the fair or they wait till the fair is over and they start calling and all of that, into Ankasa.
Yes.
I see. So these are very interesting developments. The prefabricated homes and all of that. It means no matter your specifications, no matter your land size and everything, this can be done for you. And all people have to do is come to the biggest housing, home building, home decor fair, and the best as well in Ghana, and I dare say West Africa, the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Come there and signed, sealed, delivered.
Yes.
I'll come back to you on a crucial point, because in the midst of all of this, people are thinking of kwacha, luchi, sika, dinero, what is here? So we'll come there. But let me come to you. Yes. So when people come to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, what exactly are you going to be showcasing? Usually people would bring their best elements, best products. What will you be showcasing there on that day, Isaac?
We'll showcase the best that we have for the bathroom for this country.
Will the rimless
yes.
water closets will be there?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll also show you the best accessories that goes with it.
Okay.
Remember, water has no shape until you add some temperature to it. All right? So if you don't do things properly, you will not enjoy your bathroom. It will start dripping bit. By the time you are back from work, your whole place is messed up.
Yeah.
So that's why you need the best of products, the best of accessories to enable you be able to save those monies. I always tell people, it's not just about what you see, but again, if you don't like what you buy and you have to replace it with what we do, what happens is that you're going to incur a lot of costs. Yeah. You're going to remove the trap behind the WC. You're going to break some tiles. You're going to remove the other accessories that come to bring in the water into the systems. You know, so for us, with the builders market, we said, bathroom, get it right.
Okay. Get it right once and for all,
yes.
and you're good to
yes.
go. And something I've noticed, you enter some bathrooms and you're utterly disgusted. You enter others and it feels like a safe haven. And a bathroom should be a safe haven for everybody, wherever you are, including all the other bits.
Let me have you, you know, in design, functionality is hidden behind aesthetics. So you need to appreciate what you have in the bathroom. So the design, the flow, the curves are very, very important because they appeal to the eye.
Yeah.
That's right. So it's not just a matter of a person may talk WC.
Tell them.
WC and WC.
And yet WC. All right. So let's get into the cost factor, because nowadays, you know, people want to go for the finest, the very best, but at the same time, they are looking at cost. They are keeping their eye on it, and it's even more difficult now to convince people to get certain things. Tell us about the cost factor. Tell us about some of the deals people can expect coming to the Habitat Fair this year.
Good. So I appreciate that money has become, I don't know where it is hiding. Oh, God. But we are mindful of that. And so at Lesh, we are trying to meet our clients who have that champagne taste by Akwateshi budget.
You say wait, champagne taste Akwateshi budget.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, okay.
So we have, you know, we want all those beautiful things, but we don't want to pay, or we don't have the money for them. At Lesh Fortune, especially during this fair, we'll be giving out 10 to 15% discount.
10 to 15%? That's no joke.
Yes, it's not a joke. For furnishing, 10 to 15% is huge. We'll be giving out that. We have some, you know, installment payment.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have payment plans that people can access. Corporate Ghana can access. Individuals can access.
Okay.
And so I like to see people live well. Sometimes it bothers me that we work so hard, but you come back home and everything cries out to you because things need attention. So I always say that, look, it's better for a Ghanaian to work this hard, come home and know that they are home. If even it's a single room, let's put the things in their very good places. So you can come back home and forget about the stress in town and just relax. And so we are encouraging people. That's why we're giving out these discounts. That's why we are staggering payments so that people are able to afford no matter their incomes. Yes.
In other words, as we talk about Galamsey and its ravages, let it stay outside. Don't let your home also begin to look like a Galamsey pit.
A Galamsey pit.
Let that be a safe space for you.
Yes.
But these are interesting. 10 to 15% on your products, and then payment plans for not just corporate bodies, but individuals as well. That's great. And that's where EcoBank also comes in, because they are always on the ground, so that when you want to pay for some of these things, they are also there, EcoBank, supporting us, so that they can give you some loans, and you can also make some of these purchases and pay over time, whether it's a house, whether it's items you want to buy. So you are sorted out. All you have to do is come through. Isaac, for you, what deals are you offering?
We are aware that Ghanaians love to build their homes. And you need to do things properly. So first, we'll give you the design drawings for the product, so that before you put in that WC, that basin there, you know which measurement, which height, where to put what, because you need to put in the piping first to enable you to be able to install the WC and the basin and the likes. Now, again, we'll also help you to be able to install this when you need that help, when you need the right plumbers to do the job for you. Now, I know it's all about money. Money is now difficult to come by. Yes, you come. We have all range of products for every pocket, and we'll create an account for you so that we'll be and kakra. And again, if you have
small.
If you have the money, we'll then give you 10% off what you.
So if you're paying upfront, you get a good percentage.
10% off. Yes.
10% off.
Yes. And if you want to pay bits, we'll give you 6 months to do that.
Wow. Yes. That's great. That's great. So it means that as you make your way to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, you're going to get the best deals. You're going to get free consultancy, like from Less Fortune, and the packages are just all over the place, right? EcoBank will also be there to support you where you need that financial support. And I'll bet you no afa Galamsey's, site and come out of it, and let's do something better. I'm going to take your final words as we leave. Maybe your final, should I call it a pitch to our fellow Ghanaians to join us on that day. I'll start with you, Lilia.
Okay, so I want to encourage everyone to come to the fair. And when you come, don't miss passing by and stopping by our store, Less Fortune Limited. This is an opportunity for you to come look at it, and you can plan. So that you come and see that, oh, there's a WC that comes without a rim.
Exactly.
You would go and plan. These are what exhibitions are meant for, to let people come and see what is available in the market. They take the contacts, they go sit back and plan. But sometimes we just build and just build. You go into homes and you have to knock down some walls you have to change position of doors. Because like the pictures that we're showing about the bathrooms, the WCs usually and always are at the wrong places. You open the door and it faces you.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be there like that.
Yeah.
You have to open the door and the door
And
must
it's at the side
cover.
somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bathrooms must be planned. Living areas must be planned. Bedrooms must be planned. And so before you start digging that foundation, come and consult. Take advantage of the free consultation we're going to have. The architect will draw the plans for you. Show them to an interior designer, because all he's doing is to put up the structure, but we will look at it because we are going to put the pieces down on the floor and on the walls. So they can come with their building plans. We'll look at them, we'll advise them. So for all of you who are listening and watching us, 30th to 2nd of November, we're going to be at the Accra International Conference Center. Come see what we have, and you will not regret passing by. Thank you.
Thank you, Lilia. Isaac?
Right, I think she's made my work
easy, eh?
Easy, yes. Like she said, bathroom needs to be planned. Now again, note this, note that the bathroom yesterday is not the same as today. And people now spend more time in the bathroom than even in the sitting room. So you need to make sure you get that bathroom right.
That it's a space where, like I said, it can be a safe haven, not a space where you get into and you're in a hurry to get out.
That's right.
Maximize comfort.
So you need to make sure you get it right. Now you come to the exhibition, speak to us, we'll help you to get the best and make you enjoy what you spend your money on. Money these days, we all know, is not easy to come by, so that we make sure you get value for what you are buying.
Isaac, Lilia, Nagode, Yadamwase.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Akbena Mikata. Lilia Hajama Nafra is with Lesh Fortune, and their focus is interior design and more. And they'll help you with the planning. They'll give you free consultancy if you come through. That is the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Isaac Asari is with the Builders Market, everything bathroom. And they have state-of-the-art stuff you will not find anywhere else. You want all of that? You know, make your way to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Now, it is between the 30th of October and the 2nd of November at the Accra International Conference Center. Well, my job here is done because I need to take a break so I can push them for some free consultancy even from here. What I see. That one is my benefit. We'll be back after the break. A very good morning to you once more, in case you're now joining the conversation. But let me just let you know that after the next conversation we're about to have with our lovely young ladies, we're going to activate the phone lines and talk about everything in between. But whatever your thoughts are on the fight against Galamsey, you can share with us. So after this belt of the conversation, stick and stay with your phones and give us a buzz. But for now, let me tell you about International Day of the Girl Child, or International Day of the Girl. It's observed by the United Nations, held on October the 11th every year, which is just tomorrow. It is to mark and recognize girls' rights, important, and the unique challenges girls face around the world. And we're going to be talking about that, delving into the issues with our three friends joining us, beautiful ones, of course, in the studio. We have Beatrice Larry, and she leads Project Plan International Ghana. Beatrice is also the Speaker of the West Mampusi Children's Parliament. I'll definitely be asking her something about that. Then we have, on the other end, Ya Afra Amwenu. She is also with She Leads Project Plan International Ghana. and our representative from the Volta region, Dorinda Afari Abo. She is also with the team. She leads Project Plan International Ghana. Good morning.
Morning.
You have to remind me again what it is. So you are from the Northeast region.
Yes.
How do you say good morning, and which language is it you speak?
Mamprisi.
Mamprisi. So how do you say good morning?
Desiba.
Desiba.
Yes.
Okay, Desiba. And you would say what? Indi. You know, so. Otendene. Okay. So my three friends are in the studio and we're having this conversation. Let me start from here. Why do you think the International Day of the Girl Child is so important to be celebrated and to draw attention to girls' issues? Why do you think it's so important? I'll start with you, Ya.
It's important because it gives the opportunity for girls to also express their feelings and for them to be heard, and like whatever problem that they are going through, you'll get solutions to solve them.
Okay. Some very important things you said. For girls to be heard, because sometimes you have issues, but it appears no one hears your issues, no one is concerned about your issues. Yes. Over time, I have been a campaigner when it comes to sanitary pads for young girls, especially in areas where they don't have them. So I understand the situation. For you, Dorinda, how important is it that we celebrate International Day of the Girl Child?
Okay, so it helps the girl child to, or it helps the people to know their rights, and also the girl child to know her rights and the challenges they face worldwide.
So you also get to know, oh, these are our challenges here, but in other parts of the world, these are some of the challenges girls face. For you, Beatrice?
I think it's important because it helps girls to take leadership roles as men also do, and encourages them that in the society they are also important.
And on that point, especially about leadership roles, you're a member of the West Mamprisi Children's Parliament. What has the experience been like?
It has been great. I've been exposed to a lot of things, knowing new things, discovering things every day.
Do you think you would want to be a member of parliament in Ghana's parliament in future, maybe someday?
No, please.
No?
Yes.
Why? I'm curious.
I want to be an engineer, actually. Okay. But I'm just sticking with that for now. It's also my passion, so I want to discover all of it.
Okay, you do know you can be an engineer and still, you know, fulfill that aspect of your life and still be in parliament too. You know that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we've spoken about the International Day of the Girl Child and why it's important. Which one of you would like to share the theme? I'm sure you're all familiar with this year's theme, right? The celebration. I'll start with you, Beatrice.
Okay, the theme for this year is
girls and all civilians' rights are protected during conflict.
Could you repeat that?
Girls and all civilian rights are protected during conflict.
Hashtag Unite for Peace.
Okay, let's talk about that theme. What really gets your interest in that theme for each of you? I know maybe you may look at the theme, they're talking about civilians, they're talking about you girls and what, but I'll start with you, Ya. What is the most important thing in that theme for you?
The most important thing in that theme is rights.
Rights?
Yes.
Okay.
Girls, our rights, and how we are respected in the society, how we are being treated in the society.
That's an important point. For you, Dorinda?
So for me, it's about the elections. Yes, during elections, there are lots of conflicts, so we just have to maintain peace so everything will go on well.
That's a very important point you make, because it has been shown over time that if there is civil strife or if there's disorder or war, those who suffer the most are women and children. Okay? For you, Beatrice?
For me, it's the girls. Girls are mostly not protected. For instance, if there's a war or there's an attack in your house, the males will run and leave the girls, leaving them to danger or exposing them to something that might hit them.
So there you have it, that theme for 2024's International Day of the Girl Child celebration. Girls and all civilian rights are protected during conflict, which means they must be protected whether there's conflict, no conflict, we must ensure they are protected. But that brings me to my next question. As girls, your rights, your feelings, your emotions, do you feel they are protected enough from where you are? You come from different regions, Central region, Volta region, Northeast region. Do you feel in all aspects of our national life, whether it's at school or others, that your rights are that protected? Let me start with Beatrice here.
No, please.
You don't?
Yes.
Why? In which aspects?
In the aspect of protection. Girls are usually not protected and they are exposed to danger, and education too. They don't go to school. They are always sent to go to learn trade like tailoring and hairdressing, so they don't know more about school and education stuff. So all the dangers that come, they see it to be as normal.
I see. And where you live, I'm sure you get to see some of your maybe friends and others who are not necessarily getting an education, and what you're saying, you see it in your everyday life.
Yes, please.
For you, Dorinda, what are some of the challenges to the rights you hope to enjoy?
Yeah, decision making.
Decision
In that
making.
aspect, yes. Our parents take all the right from us. They are like, yes, I'm your mother or I'm your father, so everything I'm supposed to tell you that do this, do that. You want to become a doctor, but your mother may say, oh, because you are a girl and you are my child or you are my only child, I want you to do engineering. Whilst your passion is not after engineering. So they should also allow us to take our own decisions on our own.
Okay. So while parents must give guidance to children, you must also be allowed to think, to pursue things that you want to pursue, you have a passion for, right?
Yes.
I know the interesting story of someone who became a medical doctor simply because the parents wanted him to do that, but he really wanted to be an artist. So when he was done getting that degree, said, okay, here's the certificate, parents, and he went on to pursue his art. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being a medical doctor or something, but sometimes parents are fixated on you must be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, but not everybody becomes that, right? For you, yeah, what are some of the impediments, challenges, as far as your rights are concerned that you see?
As you said, in school, mine is leadership.
Leadership?
Yes. As compared to school, most males are the prefects and then females are the assistants, making them think that they can't be prefects, but then they are just assistants. This makes them think that, okay, then it's true. They say our position is in the kitchen, then our position is to just assist. We are the second-class citizens, which is...
I was about to say that. Do you know there's a book by that name?
Yes.
By Buchi Emecheta,
Yes.
Second-Class Citizens.
Yes, please. And it makes us feel so less. It makes us feel so not important. That it just doesn't make us value ourselves. Yes.
And that must change, mustn't it?
Yes, it must.
What do you think must be done for that to change? Look at our parliament, for example. There are very few women in our parliament. If you look at the leadership of our country, well, as far as the judiciary is concerned, we've been fortunate enough to have some female chief justices, but beyond that, there's a lot of work to be done. What do you think can be done?
Okay, so what I think can be done is through the help of government and we citizens to appreciate our females and to see something better in them, that they can also be leaders, they can also aspire for presidency and a whole lot.
I see. Those are very interesting points you're making. So for the International Day of the Girl Child, which is going to be celebrated tomorrow, what are some of the activities that Plan International Ghana, now fit you work with, what are some of the activities they are going to be rolling out as far as you know? This time I'll start with you, Dorinda, then I'll come to Beatrice and then come to Ya.
Okay, so for the celebration, currently we are doing a boot camp, and that boot camp is based on STEM education for girls. And
STEM education for girls. Yes. Are you excited by it?
Yes.
Okay.
So they are going to provide the young girls with tangible skills and the empowerment they need to make impact on their lives and beyond.
What else, Beatrice?
Okay, we are also interacting with the media or engaging with the media to let them be aware of some of the challenges we girls face, and they should take our rights serious.
They should take your rights seriously and protect them, right? Yeah?
Okay, so we are still on our rights.
You can take your time. So we're just talking about the activities that
yes.
will come through.
Please, there will be a peace council, which a girl who is just 14 years is going to serve as the board of governor, chief,
chairperson for the
chairperson.
Okay.
For a day,
Oh, I see.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It's to inspire girls that they can also be leaders, they can also assume those positions.
All right, so that's to serve as some sort of encouragement that you can. Yes, you can do it, right? Yes. And as part of these activities, we also realize there's been the line of peace being spoken of ahead of the elections. At the end, maybe I'll let you speak to our leaders, but why do you think we need peace?
Okay, as a girl, we need peace a lot. We need peace to be able to learn very well, because if there's war, you learn under pressure, and you might not understand the things very well. But if there's peace, you go to school, you interact with friends, you get ideas, you make project works. But if there's no peace, all these cannot be done.
No peace, no better education, right?
Yes.
Dorinda?
So, with war or conflict in our country, girls will start running out of the country to other foreign countries. Maybe we speak English here. You go to a country where nearby countries, they mostly speak French, where you can't speak French, so you can't continue your education. So the conflict is sucking some of the girls out of the country, where they go to a place where they end up in poverty, no education, they have nothing left to them. So we need peace to sustain our girls here.
Okay, yeah?
War brings about lack of good health care, in the sense that when there is war, people cannot be treated, they cannot receive good medical care. Importation of medicines and all those stuff will be stuck because the country is not at peace and that.
So very valid points. Education will be compromised. You can't have a good life. If you have to go to other countries, you may not speak their language. And even healthcare could also be compromised. That is why we want peace. So as we conclude this conversation, I want you to share your peace message with our leaders. What's the hashtag again? Unite for Peace?
Yes.
Okay. So we are uniting for peace. What is your message to Ghana's leaders, Ghana's politicians ahead of election 2024? Dorinda?
Okay, so our message to the people of Ghana, we should maintain peace in our home. Yes, they said charity begins from home. When you start fighting, yes, I'm a member of this party, you're a member of this party, the community comes in, the neighboring communities also come in, the region, then the whole nation, everything would be turned upside down. Then the election won't go well, which will expose mostly the women and then the young girls and then their children to harm. So we just need peace, before, during, and after the election.
Yeah?
Conflict, before I go on, is a misunderstanding. So before we can have peace, we need to understand each other so that we will not have conflicts going all over the country, so that we will not have war in the country during these elections. We can maintain each other, good friendship with each other, maintain good relationships so that we can attain a peaceful country together.
Okay. And for you, Beatrice?
For me, my message goes to the children out there. During these elections, we should stay at home. We shouldn't go around to the election grounds. What are we even going to do there? We should stay at home and stay safe so that if any chaos is happening outside, you are inside safe. That's what I have.
Happy International Day of the Girl Child in advance, and keep it rocking, yeah?
Okay.
All right. And those have been my guests this morning. Beatrice Larry, she's with us. She leads Project Plan International Ghana. We also had Ya Afra Amwenu. She leads Project Plan International Ghana. She's from the Central Region. Larry is from the Northeast Region. She's part of the West Mampusi Parliament, right? And then we also had Dorinda Afari Abo. She is also with, she leads Ghana, Plan International Ghana. You all should be very proud of yourselves, and your parents should be proud of you. I am proud of you. Happy International Day of the Girl Child. Well, the Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors presents a special industry event dubbed the Energy Policy Town Hall with the NDC and NPP, that is the New Patriotic Party. It is slated for the 11th of October 2024 at 10 a.m. and the NDC on 16th October at the UPSA Auditorium each day. This is an energy industry event where representatives of the political parties will be granted an audience with key energy industry players to discuss their manifesto policies for that sector. The party representative will be required to make a 20-minute presentation and subsequently be engaged by an audience of experts and industry operatives in a dialogue. You should look forward to that one. We take a breather. When we return, what is your take on Galamsey and what do you think should be done? Are you disappointed or in favor of the move by organized labor? When we return, we have a few minutes. Call. Let us know what's on your mind. We'll be right back. So there you have it. We'd love to have your thoughts. And if God permits, we may also head to Enyinem to find out what our team has there as far as the latest Galamsey operation is concerned. But you can call that number 0302-211-691 and let me know what is on your mind. Or fresh or you so member your politics, member your MPP, NDC. And yes, I be you free line also. May catch you and Sunday starting. Call and make some sense. Call and talk Ghana. You call and you start talking politics, we'll get you off the line. Okay? 0302-211-691. Let's talk Ghana and stop NPP and DC. Right? 0302-211-691. Call and let's have a conversation. And in the next few minutes, we'll also see whether we can connect to our colleague in Enyinem. Is it Divine? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, President.
Right, Divine. What are your thoughts for us this morning?
Yes, please. Yes, I'm Divine. I'm speaking from Dortmund. And I would just would want to just express my disappointment in the whole kind of event in regards to the labor union. And actually, I think they've really let the country down and mankind, humanity, everything, from the way we monitor things outside the country, and with all hopes that this will fight for us and our generation. I feel very let down and very disappointed. That's all my take for the morning. So.
Divine, thank you so much. Divine feels disappointed at the turn of events, and he feels organized labor has let all of us down. But UTAG is continuing with the fight, and we have the other groups also joining in. You can still call that number and share your thoughts with us, 0302-211-691, 0302-211-691. We have our next caller, Alale, on the line. Alale, where are you calling from?
Please, I'm calling from Kaman.
Okay. What are your quick thoughts for us?
Yeah, in fact, what's going on is just pathetic. It's just pathetic. You see, all these people saying that they have legal licenses. And my problem is that who are giving them these licenses? You're giving them licenses to mine in our forest. People are dying. In fact, it's just pathetic. You see, to me, let's just ban everything. Let's ban everything. Then we start afresh. It's just appalling. As a country,
all our river bodies are sport. Now we are saying that this yam and plantain, everything, when we import them, we are saying that, come on. I mean, let's put the colors aside. This is Ghana we are talking about, though.
Alali, it is where we are. And thank you for sharing your thoughts. So we've heard from Divine and Alali, who will be our next caller, 0302-211-691, 0302-211-691. We have limited time, so if you mean to call, the time is now. Pick up your phone and dial that number, 0302-211-691. And I want to know whether maybe, like, I'm not going to let go, like the lands minister, whether you also drink tap water. I want to know. You can call and let me know whether you drink tap water as well every day. We have Martin on the line. Martin, good morning. Where are you calling from?
I like to deploy military men to the fight for them to sack the Galamsey operator. And what I have to say is, I think we have to get one media man on each Operation Vanguard operation team, you see, so that he can take coverage on whatever activity that will go on between the Galamseyers and the military men. And that will reduce the bribery and corruption that will go on at the side, so that they can't take money from the Galamseyers and leave them. So I think you people should also think about it. It will help us a lot. Thank you.
That's a positive point being made, and that's why we have one of our colleagues embedded in all of this, also bringing us some reports. We'll pick one last call. You could be lucky number, what, 4 or 5? And we'd take your thoughts, and that will be it. You can call that number at the bottom of your screen, but I'm going to announce it as well, 0302-211-691. And okay, so we have another Martin, but this time from Iswum. Martin, good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have a solution to the problem.
You do?
Yes. The solution is that the president should order all a substantive number of military and policemen to go and arrest any chief on whose land Galamsey is going on, so that investigation should be done. If that chief is not connected to whatever is going on his or her land, then you will decide. Yes.
I see.
So that that presidential candidate who is saying Kufuor doesn't have an idea about how to stop the problem is a lie.
Okay. Martin.
If they don't know about what is going on their land, they should come and prove.
Thank you, Martin, for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. And you know, it's a bit radical, but he's saying, and his suggestion then is that some of these traditional leaders and others are complicit. They know. After all, excavators don't fly and come and land in certain places. So if the president wants to solve it, he should arrest all the chiefs and investigate them, whether they are not complicit. If you are not complicit, you will be discharged. But that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because the revelations would be, it would be something else. But anyway, this is how far the Lord has brought us. This is how far we've come. Ebenezer, don't you forget, tomorrow, I am Catholic and proudly so. And we're having that prayer protest walk. It's not a demonstration, it's a protest walk. And we're going to be praying alongside. It will start at 10 a.m. from the Holy Spirit Cathedral. I will join them after I'm done with this show. And we shall proceed through the Ridge Hospital area, the Greater Accra Regional Hospital area, get to the Jubilee House, present a petition, and then it caps off at Christ the King. GRASAG is joining, the Graduate Students Association of Ghana. They have about 100,000 strong membership. Now, Senor Jose and his team also say they will join. Come and join. Now, Banche, ne body na odi fufu no, wonso ebi count. What in America no? We'll be doing that tomorrow for Mother Ghana, not for any party. My name is Benjamin Akakwa. I do this together with Sweetie Abochi. Up next, we serve you on this channel, Joy News Desk. Do stay for that.